And
Are we live?
we're live.
All right, we're back.
We're back. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure the video is working for the Discord. Perfect.
We're live.
Look, there we are. It's amazing.
Cool. All right. So we have a special guest for this week,
If you couldn't tell.
Mr. Jeff Bauman. We're very excited to have here. Yay! So we start every
Legend.
podcast with a shot of pre-workout.
Have you done pre-workout before?
No.
It's gonna be
Okay.
it's like an energy drink, and this isn't that strong,
Yeah.
so it's really not a big.
It's not that bad. It'll be okay.
It looks horrible.
It's not.
It's a race.
It doesn't even have a lot of flavor. There's not much to it. We're just trying to kill.
Did you
this.
concoct one, or is it all
No,
bang?
this is just bang.
Okay.
We're trying to kill this tub because this is kind of
Yeah.
just lame.
What if we had a special reserve of mud gum?
So we try to switch the brand as we kill it, and like we got this one brand, but it was on sale, so I got two because it was like buy one get one a discount, and it was like the worst flavored thing ever.
It was
And
called
then-
like bubble gum, but it had like a military-ish name to it to make it sound
Bubble Guns.
bubble guns. Yeah.
But it tasted like shit.
Yeah.
So pre-workout.
Yeah.
What is this for?
So pre-workout
It's
is
for working out.
Yeah, it's just so it's this specifically doesn't have much of anything in it. There's like some caffeine in it. There's vitamin B. I don't think there's any niacin. And there's nothing that's gonna make you like itchy. Some of the pre-workouts that like are gonna give you like a lot of circulatory system like boost, they just make you real itchy.
Yeah, like kind of skin crawly.
Yeah,
whatever.
this
yeah.
doesn't
Sounds
do
great.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
this doesn't do that. We save that for us.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's our favorite. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
And then we just pound it.
Oh yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Oh, tastes good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now we can
Oh my
go
gosh.
work out.
Yeah. There's a
We're gonna
place
work out-
right over
We're
there.
gonna work out right here.
Yeah,
that's the
Viking Industrial
training center.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
All right, so first thing that we normally do is we would just have like your becoming, like how
Yeah.
you became Jeff Bauman, specifically just in disc golf. Like how did you get into disc golf? How did you get started? And how did you get to the point where you're like, fuck yeah, this is the thing I'm going to do?
Okay, yeah. So in the late 70s, we moved right next to River Bends Park,
Okay.
right? So the disc golf course didn't go into the early 90s. So, back in the 70s, it was a Nike site. It was a missile site. So there's like missile silos, like 50 feet tall, sticking up out of the ground.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Also
shit.
underground launch rooms.
Oh,
You
that's
could-
part of what those blue tubes are, right?
Blue-
And throughout river bends or no? That's something else.
Well, they were green. They were green missile silos. The underground stuff was underground, but so back where the disc golf course was, that's just jungle. It was.
Yeah.
It was actually baseball diamonds down there way back in the day, but they put both courses in. So it was like the first. I believe it was the first facility with two 18-hole courses.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool living right
Yeah.
there. And, disc golf was different back then. It was all pitch and putt, but, we had Ron Russell there.
Yeah. 1999 world champion.
Yeah.
Ron
Yeah.
Russell was there. So
Yeah.
he showed us, like, we got to see greatness, like, right off the bat. Like, we knew what it was to be great.
Yeah.
He literally had a comet and a magnet and a comet. He
Okay.
could just shoot like 15 under with it.
That's crazy.
Sometimes he'd pull out the cyclone. He'd shoot a cyclone if it was
Yeah.
really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard he had like 4 molds or something, or like just really minimal.
He could throw a comet is best. I mean, it's just and everything. He'd throw a comet for everything.
Yeah.
If it was really far, he'd throw the cyclone.
Yeah.
And he made all his putts.
Yeah.
So it was cool. It was cool to get into the game watching that. So, there was other people like Al Shack was around back
Yeah.
then, and Darren Harper and Mike Fortin and a lot of really good players that I didn't want to play with.
Right.
Scary good.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
So literally Ron. So Ron showed us how to drive, and he showed us how to do the X step. So that was really cool, and so we could like I said, we understood what it was to see greatness and what it was, and he actually won the worlds. He beat Kenny. Kenny beat third place by like 11 strokes or 13 strokes, and Ron beat that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. So Barry Schultz was third, and Ken and Ron were like way up. So
There's video footage of that online, which is
Oh, yeah.
which is epic.
and
Yeah,
it's
it's
really
great.
good
It's
footage.
really
It's
good
really
footage,
really
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
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 Yep. So that's where I learned. I mean, I learned at River Bends, and you gotta. That's a scramble course, right?
Yeah.
So we were always shooting in the woods. So we developed. Ron showed us how to do rollers too before it was even a thing. Really, I thought like I could throw a roller.
Is that when you started rolling with the Valkyries?
There was no Valkyrie back then. It was Cyclones.
Yeah. Because Valkyrie was what, early 2000s?
Yeah, maybe late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I would say
Gotcha.
that sounds about right. But so Stony Creek had a course, but it was a little dinker 9-hole course.
Okay.
There was Firefighters, and there was Addison Oaks, which is also kind of unkept, really great course, but not fun
Rough.
to play.
Yeah.
People. I actually lost every disc in my bag once playing there. I left with nothing.
How many discs were in your bag?
Not many. Not many, like 5 or 7 or 8. It wasn't that many, but I lost them all.
So, did you
Everyone.
start playing with a friend of yours, or did you just randomly I'm going to go out and check this out?
So we were hanging out at River Bends. We weren't playing. We were more just partying.
Yeah.
And there's all these baskets everywhere. So we'd always, throw disc at the basket, because I had other guys that would play all the time. Don Franks is another guy that got me into it.
Yeah.
Don Franks is always there. So he's always giving me discs. I could throw real far back then. So he'd just be, throw this. And he's always giving me these discs, So that's how I was hanging out with my buddies there, because I was like in the mid 90s, I was 20.
Yeah.
And I was doing other stuff. So by the late 90s, the internet came out, and we realized it was everywhere. It wasn't just here.
Right.
And the internet we seen there, it was so many people playing it. We're like, yeah. So that's what got me into it, was seeing how many people were doing it, because we were pretty enthused. We loved playing, but we didn't play any tournaments ever.
Right.
It was just us. There was like 8 of us that would just go out and play.
So at that point, how many times a week are you playing? Are you playing every day?
Almost every day.
Yeah, almost every day. Yeah.
So this is mid 90s.
Yeah.
Mid to late 90s. We were playing every day, and we weren't good. There was, like I said, I was shooting like 10, 11 under at Firefighters back then, and not good.
Yeah.
So I kind of lost interest a little bit. So then they built Stony Creek, and I went up there and I shot a 18 over.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you lose all your discs?
I did not lose all my discs. I just shot. You had to do up shots, and I had to use my rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Weren't you
yes.
saying the other day when we played that the 18 over was what got you hooked or something?
Yeah. I got back into it because I wasn't playing anymore.
Yeah.
I stopped playing, and someone's like, yeah, they built a new course at Stony. Let's go. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Bogeyed every hole.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
Then you're like, I got to do
Because
this.
I could
Yeah.
throw far.
challenge.
I could
Yeah.
throw far back then. And, so it was a lot different golf. And that was like the hardest course in Michigan for a while. Between that and the toboggan,
Yeah.
there wasn't anything much harder than that. So it was cool to have that. And there was a lot more trees back then, because the emerald ash borer came to town.
Yep.
Whenever
Emerald
that was.
ash.
Late 90s. Yeah.
What's that?
Well,
Late
no,
90s,
it was
early 2000s.
Yeah, it was an invasive bug that killed all the ash trees.
Really?
Yeah. They ripped,
Like-
even out of Star, they ripped out like 40, 50 trees out
Wagner.
of Star.
Right.
Wagner
Yeah,
got
the whole
decimated.
area.
Yeah.
Really? Holy crap.
Yeah, I remember I played Wagner before. I started in 97. Wagner was the first course I ever played. And then whatever, I was out of state and everything else with my job. And then I came back and I remember going to Wagner and was like, what the fuck happened? Because they pulled like so many trees out. My mom was like, oh, we had this
Really?
ash disease
Yeah.
and they had to cut them down so that way it wouldn't spread to other trees and all this stuff. They just tried to like contain it and remove all the trees.
That's crazy. Because I was going to ask, how similar is Stony now to then? But I guess,
They planted a lot of trees
yeah.
since then, and they're bigger now. But, hole 3 now had a line
Yeah.
of trees going right down the middle of the fairway, going across hole 1 and 2 long way. They're all gone.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there's
just
probably-
perpendicular to them?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there's
That's wild.
probably, it's got to be video of that somewhere, or pictures of it somehow.
Something.
Yeah.
Because I know Rico came out and obliterated the course back when it was hard or something. No?
Nope, not him. The only superstars that came and played at Stony, I think, is Ulibarri that I know of.
Okay.
Wysocki maybe, but he was really young.
Yeah. I don't know. I heard Steve Rico for some, I don't know.
Rico killed the monster course once
So were you going
at
out?
Hudson Mills.
So when I
Gotcha.
was around here late 90s playing, we would play Addison Oaks sometimes. But we played a lot of Hudson Mills. Did you make the trip out and play a lot of Hudson Mills
that
back
was
in the day?
that was an original course. So
Yeah.
like I said, River Bends, Addison Oaks, Firefighters, Stony wasn't a thing yet, but Hudson Mills was.
Yep.
And that had 2 18s also, which was awesome.
Yeah, because when I started playing, Hudson Mills was like the premier spot, basically. Like everyone who actually played regularly, it was like, we're going to go to Hudson Mills this weekend, right? And you're like, yeah, of course, you know.
Yep, Hudson Mills was great, you know. But again, that was another pitch and putt course.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like every hole, like you're playing against Al Shack, you got to get every hole.
Yeah.
Because he's going to kill you, you know. And Ron, you know, it just wasn't fair.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of why I got out of it, because I was never really that good at pitch and putt.
Yeah.
Until they started making the courses a lot, you know, longer, and the toboggan came out, and that was, 2000, I think they put that in, and you know, then they put the monster holes, or what they call them, the champ baskets at Hudson Mills, which is great. You know, definitely added strokes to the course.
Yeah.
Helped me out a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, but like, you know, when Stony was built, that's what got me back into the game.
You were like 18 over. You're like, I'm not a bitch.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got to get better at this.
Yep. And then I think a 50.
That'll be the last time I shoot 18 over.
Mike Fortin shot a 50, and that stood for years.
It like stopped the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So that until the Ashboard came, and
Yeah.
then I think Brian Vagey shot like an 8 under or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit different course, but still, that was a ridiculous score.
Yeah, I remember when I got
46 or something.
Yeah, after I'd met Roan, and he said that he shot like whatever it was, like 7 down, like a 47 or something on Stony, and I was just like, no way. I was like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
You know,
I seen Jared hit the mouth on hole 1
Yeah.
on the blue course.
Yeah.
So like a 600 and
It's a bomb.
yeah.
Yeah.
Craziest drive I saw on that hole
Wow,
was
Jared.
Great Lakes Open when it was Stony. I don't think we played Addison that year. Maybe it was Stony and Addison. But I remember we got on a 40-minute wait on hole 1. I was still old all the way back then. And like my whole body just tightened up, and we're like standing around bullshitting. And then Oleski threw it like right to the opening of the mouth. After sitting on his ass he was having a shitty round, so he was like pouting, sitting there, being bitchy. And then he like stood up. I don't know if it was like a rage throw or what, and he just ripped this fucking drive. And I was like, holy shit, dude. I was like, wow, that's
Really?
crazy. Yeah, it was like right up the left side, and then it faded over right at the end, and it was like just right, like easy pitch to the fucking basket. I was like,
That's nuts.
Easy
cool.
peasy.
I hardly made it to the short grass. My body had tightened up so bad. That was the only time I swore during a tournament, because I was tied for 4th, and I was on a card with Hollinger, and I was up a stroke on Hollinger. And then I threw a good drive, good second shot to the opening, and then the third shot I threw, I like hit a tree and shanked it off. And right as I fucking let it go, I go, fuck, really loud. And I was like, because I wanted to qualify for AmNats. It was like the only tournament I had that I could qualify for AmNats. And then fucking Hollinger just caged this putt from like 20 feet. and I was like,
no.
yes!
My boy.
Oh, no.
I sunk my putt, and I was like, sweet, we tied. So like we both made it. I was like,
okay,
dude,
that's
thanks.
good.
Yeah, it was a good ending.
Thanks,
did
bro.
Did you see the fucking smallmouth he caught? Did you see
Yeah.
that? Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a monster. That was a I was like,
No
holy
smallmouth.
shit. Yeah, it was like a 4.5 pound smallmouth bass that he caught.
Just holding it
So like, yeah. And then he caught that one where he's got the POV of his camera, and he's like in the little like, kayak where he's like working
I
the pedals
see
and
that.
shit.
Does he just like fish all the
Yeah,
time
that's
now?
it.
That's all he does?
Yep,
No
that's
disc
it.
golf, no whatever?
I don't think he disc golfs at all.
Does he work
really.
at disc golf still?
No, he quit
Okay.
disc golf a long time ago.
Really?
He was dating a girl, and then I think he once the girlfriend broke up, he quit like being like over in that area, because he was kind of in that area, and then he
Gotcha.
left, and then
He's up north now, right?
yeah, I think he's farther up north.
Okay.
Yep. A lot of
I miss
fishing.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Dude, I played every year we played states. We'd start on the same pad because it's Harrison and Hollinger. So every year, like I'd play a couple tournaments with him, and then every year at states, he'd be like, all right, this is the year we're not just going to fucking blow it. And then there we are, third round at Leviathan. Like, all right, here we go. And then I'd always end up on a third round with Scott Sproul every year, every fucking year.
I had that
Really?
same shit with
Yep.
me and Mosier. Jamie Mosier and I would always end up. We play a big tournament. The last round, we're always playing together.
Yeah.
Almost every freaking time.
That's funny.
But
So-
yeah, I miss Jeff.
So of all the years that you played, who would you say in just like tournament wise, casual wise, either way, is your favorite person to like compete against? And then if it's not the same person, who's your favorite person to beat? Like when you beat them, like you're secretly like, fuck yeah.
Wow. I don't really have a rival like that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I have a hard time with favorites.
Yeah.
You know, people ask me all the time, "What's my favorite course?" I don't have a favorite course. The new course I haven't played yet. That's
Yeah.
a lot of times my favorite course. It might be Mike Walker.
Yeah,
My
just playing
buddy.
against
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, Mike Walker. Me and him talk shit probably the most.
Yeah.
It's listening to you guys go back and forth. It's been a while, but it's always so funny.
Yeah.
It's always a good time.
Well, we learned our
Yeah.
lesson. Whoever talks shit the most usually gets their ass handed to them. So
Yeah.
we're pretty. You gotta be kind of sure about it, you know.
Yeah.
But if there's one person, that might be Mike, my number one rival.
Yeah. And then what would you say is your best win that you had? It could be a league, it could be leagues, it could be tournament, whatever. Where you won and you were like,
Well, I just won an A tier this year.
yeah,
That wasn't my first one, but that seemed like a pretty big one. I probably states. I won states one year as an amateur.
okay,
And
That's awesome.
yeah, that's a big
I
one.
played
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good too, and so the guy that won the series, Pete Weingard,
Okay,
really good player.
first year I played
Yeah.
states, I played with Weingard.
So
he was the funniest fucking guy I've
Pete's
ever
great.
played with.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
So I think we played 2 years together. Maybe have been just one, but he'd always win. He won the series. He won every tournament pretty much. But I got him at states, and
Yeah.
it was nice because I played really good on, I think maybe the first round or the second round or something. But I had a really big lead, and I was able to hold him off. You know,
Yeah.
and I played good, and so that was that. I had turned pro after that. So I went to Nats a couple of weeks later at the Toboggan.
yeah,
And I think that was the first year they did. They did Amnats and then stopped for 3 years, and then that was the first year that came back. I believe that was 2001 or 2002. So I played states that year. I won states. I'm a badass. I'm going to win Amnats.
Yeah.
I got like 40th or something.
yeah.
I
Didn't
played
win. Didn't
not
win.
win.
Didn't win.
So, you know what? I'm sorry. The next year I turned pro because I went to the Michiana Open,
Okay.
and I tied for 5th place in Am1. I got like $40, and it was an A tier too. So I was like, I ain't doing that again.
Right.
Yeah.
Screw that.
Yeah.
So I'd rather lose than do really good and get nothing for
Yeah.
it, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, I turned pro in the middle of the season in like 03 or something like that.
Yeah.
Just because I was kind of pissed off because I played really good I won the CCR Open. They gave me a lot of stuff. That was cool. But I had played really good in 2 other really big tournaments. I got nothing for it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just, because all my friends were pros. My friends were like Darren Harper, Mike Fortin, and all these guys, and they're all playing pro.
Yeah. And then you're
I'll
over there
just
playing
go-
for frisbees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all laughing at me.
Yeah.
Call me a bagger, bagger Bauman.
Nice one, Jeff.
Yeah.
Show me those new frisbees you won. Wow, that must feel great. Yeah.
And of course, they were really happy when I turned pro because
Yeah.
they're all beating me. You know?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
I remember.
funny.
I remember I finished like top 10 at states amateur side one year, and I got $140 worth of shit. And I
I
remember,
won states and got $140.
yeah, I was like,
100
fuck this, dude.
Yeah.
I'm done with this. I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah, I appreciate what they do up there, but yeah, I beat like 40 people, and it was like I got $140. Like,
Yeah, I think
What?
mine was like 90. It was like 96 or 94 people or something in my division,
wow.
and then yeah, I got like top 10, and I got double my entry fee. And I remember like, What?
And I complained a little bit about it, and everyone's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you should have known better. You know that's the way it is, or something."
yeah,
I'm like, yeah,
yeah,
I ain't
not
never
for me.
coming back
Yeah,
here.
not
Yeah,
for me. It's not like
fuck
that for
that.
me. Yeah,
yeah. Like I said, I appreciate what they do, but it's just I'd rather
yeah.
play for the money.
Lay it out and try
Yeah.
to beat some real players.
Yep.
And if you don't, you don't. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's and I like I said, there were so many great players back then. You weren't winning.
Yeah.
You had to beat Scott Martin, the best lefty in the world. He lived here for many as I turned pro.
Yeah.
So if he didn't win, it was Al Shack, who was world champion. Mike Raley, world champion. Mike Fortin, 2-time state champion.
Mhm.
And the list goes on. Darren Harper. And if those guys aren't playing good, then you got guys like Mike Walker, who decides to come play a tournament, shoot fire.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey guys, here I am.
Yeah.
Oh, you're here? Sweet.
Yeah, great. See ya.
Weigard did that to me one time at a tournament. I'm like counting money on the way there. I was like,
Yep.
fuck yeah, this is going to be sweet. And I'm like warming up and everything. And I was
What are
like,
you
blah, blah,
doing
blah.
here?
And then all of a sudden I see the fucking Volt drive up. And I
Oh.
was like, what is this motherfucker doing here? And he walks out of his Volt and I was like, hey, Nate, good to see you. I was like, what the fuck, dude? You never
That's
think-
Al Shack. He
you-
would do that to us.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we're playing like some unsanctioned event somewhere.
Yeah.
Here
Yeah.
comes Al Shack.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude.
dude. What are you doing here?
You don't have anything else to do?
There's
brother?
not a big tournament. You go win.
Yeah, that's funny.
Man.
That's hilarious.
So when did you start doing Stony leagues?
So that was.
Did you
after
take
many
it
years
over?
of complaining. No, I was trying to get someone to do it,
Okay.
and no one would do it.
So then
So
you were
I
like,
did it,
fuck
yeah.
it, I'm
I'll
gonna
be
do
the
it.
So,
guy.
like,
yeah.
yeah.
So if anyone's gonna do it, it'll be me, I guess.
So that was 03.
Okay.
And
Wow.
Yep, 2003, and there was probably like 12 of us. And I just copied what everyone else did. It was $5 to enter and $1. No, I did something different. I did the dollar thing, so I kept $1 from every player.
Yeah.
So no other league did that.
Yeah.
And I remember people complaining about that. What are you going? What? Like, well, you guys play firefighters all year, and you just stop at the end.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, well, shouldn't you have like a winner or something? You know.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. Like, I'm going to keep $1 from everyone and have a little finals thing.
Yeah.
And John Hamill won every week, pretty much, and won all our money
Yeah.
for the first 2 years.
Yeah.
And we changed the fucking rules because of that.
Show up out there and you're
Show
like,
up every week, and he wins almost every week.
What
Yeah.
were the rules before, and then John Hamill, and then the rules after?
Yeah, so it was basically, I think it was like 5 points for the win. I can't remember. I can't
Yeah.
remember what it was exactly, but we tweaked them a little bit.
yeah.
Is it what they are now, or is now
The
a
only
little
thing-
bit different?
It's almost the same now, except for now, to win the trophy, you have to go to a playoff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So before, you just like whoever won the point race,
You won it. Yeah.
So basically now is because of John Hamill.
Well, no, actually, Brad Fraze broke that because Brad Fraze was the last guy to. It was over like with 3 weeks to go.
Yeah.
And he
just-
didn't have to come.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, and then I think Herzog did the same thing once.
Yeah.
Where it was
Okay.
like, okay, this is not fun.
Yeah.
Because we already know who the winner is.
Mm-hmm.
So we started the playoff thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And that how many years now has the playoffs been a
I
thing?
don't know.
You got
5, 6, 7, maybe.
More
you
than
got
a
the
handful
cup,
easily.
right? You'd have to think like how many plaques are on the cup.
I won the first playoff
yeah.
one. So I don't know what year that.
Strictly coincidence. Totally coincidence. Nothing weird.
Well,
Nothing
I mean,
weird.
We're gonna do it this other
There's
way this year,
nothing
guys.
wrong with that.
Yeah.
The
But-
league runner can win
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
own league.
That's right. So change the rules. Well, so yeah. So I mean, it's
Jeff
completely
wins
fair.
first year no matter what.
Right.
All right,
Completely
rule
fair.
change now.
But yeah, instead of instead of having the whole season like John, John killed us.
Yeah.
John won easily. So we're like, we're gonna have to do I'm sorry, it was after Brad. Brad was the last guy to actually win by so much. We're like, we got to do something.
Yeah.
So that seemed like the most fair way to do it. Just playoff at the end with the top 6 guys play off, and
Yep.
it's usually a few $100 for the winner. This year is kind of slow. We had a lot of rain days.
A lot of rain days.
And there's leagues so like, I think 5 years ago we were getting 50 guys easy, and Stoney's not the easiest place to get to at 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good turnout. 50 guys is a lot. Plus, I'm processing all these dudes and playing. And, but now we're kind of down. We're kind of 25, 35 maybe.
Okay.
Because there's leagues every day of the week now,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But
Yeah, there's a lot.
I can mingle a little bit more too, because I don't like doing big, because I'm a player too. I want to
Warm up,
friends.
throw
Yeah.
something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
Win some money.
straight from the picnic table to the tee pad. Hey
Yeah.
guys.
So in 03 when we started, it's like I said, like 12 guys. Now it's consistent like 30 people now.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I think there's a bunch of people from when I played. I always had to work Friday, so I could never play. I was followed though, like play at least the playoffs. Like who's gonna win Stony? But I think a lot of the people don't play because so many good players play on the pro side.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Bart,
Like,
Bart was asking me about that because Bart Kowalski.
yep,
That's not his name.
yeah, what,
It's
yeah, I know.
something like that.
Yep,
He's asking me how many pros I get, and I said, I don't know, 12. That's not a lot either. And he's like, oh
Yeah.
my god, that's great.
Yeah.
Because they want to do that down in where he lives, and
Yeah.
they're like, they won't play against because it's going to be Brad Schick and Bart,
Right.
or a couple other hop shots, and they don't want to play against those guys, so they don't even do it.
yeah. Yeah, because I remember when I started playing, and I was playing the Monday night leagues, and then everybody was all crazy with Stony, and I had to work on Fridays. And then I remember, like, I had a Friday off, and they're like, "Well, are you going to go to Stony leagues?" And I was like, "No, fuck that, dude." Like, same thing, like you going out to, like, Riverbend. I was like, "No, dude, I'm just going to go.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just going to go play casual."
That sounds
'Cause, like,
familiar.
at that point, it was like Herzog, like even like those, like you, Herzog, and those guys, like, going out there, and I was just like, yeah, like what am I gonna do out there? Like I'm not, like at that point I'm like, if I'm putting up, like high 50s, I'm like fucking pumped getting in my car.
Hey,
Like, yeah, cool. I'm gonna go out there. Yeah, here's the $10. Appreciate it.
All right, I'll see you later. It's nice seeing you.
Are you guys signing merch today or?
That pays off in the long run.
Yeah.
Though.
Well, once I started playing tournaments, that was before I was playing tournaments. Once I started playing tournaments, then I was like, I just want to play against the best people I can.
Yeah, I felt like that with the leagues too, because I want to go watch these guys.
Yeah.
Like, I see these ridiculous scores. I'm like, what? How'd you shoot a 50 or whatever? I'm gonna go watch you play.
Yeah.
And it's all it is consistency. We all can do all the shots pretty much. It's just a matter of muscle memory and
hitting it.
Yeah, and getting consistent. The consistency is everything in golf. Doing the same thing over and over and over and over, and waiting for 10 minutes and then being able to do it again. You know, those long waits. But I didn't want to play with any lesser players than me. By the time I started getting halfway decent, I wanted to watch these guys that are shooting good rounds. So I'll give you $10. Well, back then it was $5.
Yeah.
$5. I'll pay my $5 and watch Al Shack shoot a 13 under again at wherever.
Yeah.
He's shooting double digits everywhere back then.
Yeah.
I think I've only met Al like a couple times. I don't think I've ever played with Al though.
I never played with Al.
So Al Shack's the kind of guy where you could never tell if he was playing good or bad by watching him, just him. Like his attitude's awesome.
Yeah. Just
perfect. He's always smiling. He has this. You never got mad. I never seen him ever get mad. I don't think I've ever seen him play bad though.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. I've seen him play bad before.
Yeah.
And actually, someone came up and was like, "Hey, Al, how you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm playing terrible." And I remember that, and he was so nice about it,
Yeah.
But I just remember that about him. He's just so cool, Just it was never too high or never too low. I always remember that about Al.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Where's he at now? Is he still in Michigan somewhere?
Yeah,
or?
he's on the west side.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah, he was
still
in the
plays.
Hall of Fame, right? Last couple of years, he got put.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I remember seeing that.
I think so.
Sugar in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Sugar Shack. Yeah,
Yep.
I'm lucky, man. I got to play with him a lot.
Yeah.
When I was coming up, I turned pro. I played with him and Scott Martin a lot, and they just killed us.
I told a story on here before. I learned how to. So the first time I played was at Wagner, but I was going to Western. Ran into a friend of mine I went to like middle school with. He's like, "Dude, have you ever played disc golf?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "We got to go," and he was going, and I was like, "Well, I'll go." And he's like, like car's full, or he was just being polite, like, "We don't want to fucking chase your disc around, like whatever." He's like,
Right.
"I'm going home next weekend. If you're going home, we'll go play at home." So we played Wagner. Like first time I played, I was like, yeah, this is it. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then I just learned on Coldbrook. I used to throw a lot of overhands, thumbers, and tomahawks. Never really had a good backhand. Had a decent sidearm, whatever. And we were out there. I've told him the story, but we were out there with like a couple of my friends, and Feldberg was out there playing, and he's like playing through, so he plays up with us. And like I didn't know that there were tournaments. I didn't know that there was like a big thing, whatever. And he just keeps talking about like how great he is. That he dropped out of Western and like now just plays disc golf for a living, and like he's sponsored. And I was
on tour as an amateur.
Yeah, and I was like, who the fuck gets sponsored? I'm like buying my disc at In Flight, and you know what I mean, or like out of somebody's car, and he's like talking, and he's playing like shit, and we're all just like, okay, yeah. So we play out the round, we get done, and then it was like, all right, dude, we're done. Like, let's see this magic. Like, what the fuck is going on? And this is 97, I want to say.
Okay.
And so we're like standing on this hill, and there's a phone pole, and it's like 4 and some change away. And he's like, all right, I'll throw to the phone pole. And he just fucking threw this throw, and all of our brains just melted. I was like, wait, what the fuck? And it landed like 5 feet from the pole. And we're like, all right, dude, do that again. And then they threw like 5 of them, and they were all like right by the phone pole.
What was he throwing? Do you remember?
I have no idea.
So it's probably Discraft.
I think it was Discraft at the time.
I can't remember what he threw back then. So I didn't really know Dave.
Yeah.
I hardly ever played with him.
Yeah.
He when I was an amateur and he was an amateur, he was on tour.
Yeah.
So
As I said, he got picked up, and then all of a sudden he's like on tour, and he's playing with like all those guys, and just like
there was no
whatever it
touring
was.
AM players back then. So I don't know. He just had the money. I don't know how he did that, but he did it.
he dropped out of Western to become a disc golf. I remember
he's a world champion.
Yeah,
right?
he
so
ended up doing it.
Yeah,
you know,
so-
but I remember like the whole time he was playing, like he's hitting trees. Like Coldbrook back then, at least, like the course has changed now. I played it a couple years ago.
I hated that place.
Was so tight.
I hated Coldbrook so bad.
And we're just watching him play, and we're like, all right, dude, like whatever. And then when he got done, he just fucking like that first actual open field throw. I was like, holy shit, dude, like that's crazy.
Yeah, back then 400 feet. Like Ron Russell said, he aced. I think 11 at River Bends. I don't know what hole it is. After the big river hole.
Yeah.
And we didn't believe him.
Yeah.
I didn't believe him. It's like,
Yeah.
I know how. I mean, I know you're good, but you ain't acing that hole.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
It's like 400 feet.
Yeah.
He just probably threw a cyclone on a freaking hyzer and aced it.
Yeah.
That's
But like back then,
disgusting.
it was just like,
Yeah,
how
400
do you
feet was
throw
like
that far?
mind melting. Yeah. Yeah, it was a little bit downhill, but I would say it was a little over 400 feet,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, holy shit. So you played basically straight through. You took some breaks or whatever it was. You got disinterest and then reinterest. When discs evolved, did
Big
it
time.
did it change your game and the
That's
way
the
that you
same
approached
time.
it?
Yeah, that was the same. It was 2000, right?
Yep.
So when CE plastic basically came out,
Yep.
and then you had DX, Champ, and CE. Well, actually, it was just DX and CE.
yeah.
That was, I'm sorry. There was SE. SE was special.
Oh, yeah,
edition,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which is good shit.
Yeah. I used to throw a SET bird. That
yeah.
was my jam.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
great. They
Was
were-
it was similar to like their pro plastic, but like
Yeah.
a nicer
Yep.
kind of because it would beat
Little
up, but it
more-
felt really nice.
It was like
Yeah.
shiny. It's
It's
kind of
really
shiny
good.
too. Yeah.
yeah.
So that was the same time Stoney was built.
Yeah.
You know, so not only so when I got a brand new disc, my first move was to take it overhand into the ground about 3 times, about as hard as I could, to
Yeah.
break it in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Just
Right.
3 good ones.
Yep. And
Concrete or grass?
grass.
Okay.
Definitely. Well, we used to throw them at trees.
Yeah.
But then we'd miss. So I'm like, no, I'm throwing it down.
What happened to Tim?
Down. I can't miss the
Yeah.
ground.
What happened to Tim? Jeff missed the tree again.
Yeah. So that was about the same time we got new discs that you hit a tree, you felt sorry for the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Because these discs ain't breaking. We're going to lose them
Yeah.
before we break them. And yeah, that changed the game.
Yeah.
Big time. You know, and they were great discs. That's the TL, that CETL and
Yeah.
the CEFL and the CE Valkyrie.
Yep.
And the Firebird. The FL, the TL, and the Valkyrie.
Yep.
Do you remember a tie-dye TL like that was CE? Whatever happened to that? Do you still have it?
I don't.
I remember that was one of the discs I remember being in your bag like when I met you and you're like, this has been in my bag for a
So-
long time.
So they were $17 a piece.
Which was
I was
expensive.
pissed.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what the hell is this 17?
Yep.
There's a stack of them. I should have bought the whole damn stack.
Yep.
Because they was the best disc I ever. I bought 2 of them because they were just beautiful. They were beautiful tie-dyed CETLs, and I paid like $35 for it from the disc golf store in Clawson, from Damon Evans.
Was that Damon's store?
Yeah, Damon's store.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
On Main
Yeah.
Street,
So
you're
it was
talking
actually
about by
Gail
14?
Vaughn Gail Vaughn was there, and Damon and Gail and another guy.
I remember going in there. It's a
guy-
magic shop now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, I bought.
Oh,
2.
is it Time Travelers?
No.
The
No,
one
it's a
no,
magic.
no.
It's magic.
It's a magic
some,
store.
yeah.
Wonderland.
Like
or
liter-
something.
oh, okay,
It's
okay,
literally
okay.
like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
illusions.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like Jober.
But yeah, you're right. I did have the disc for so long, and it was a magic disc, dude.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
don't
totally
make 'em
forgot about
anymore.
it until like just now. Yeah.
I cried. So I lost one at Sunnybrook on my last shot we had a mulligan, and we played great. And the last shot we were like, all right, we're just gonna use our mulligan, and I threw it and I fucking forgot it sitting there.
Oh, because it was a
And
second
it was a-
drive.
Sounds
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
familiar.
Yep. So someone picked it up at Sunnybrook and just kept it.
Yeah.
Now they have a really nice CETL.
Yep. And then the other one, I don't know what happened to the other one. I have to think about that one, but
I remember.
very sad when I lost
Man.
those.
I remember getting discs at In Flight in Kalamazoo. I remember going when I would come home to this side of the state. I'd go to the disc golf store when that was open, or Rocky's Party Store
That's where I
across
got
from
my
Wagner.
first bag. Yep, that's where I got my
Fuck,
first bag.
dude, I'd go over there and get I traveled a bunch, so I'd leave discs wherever I was at, and then I'd come home. I wouldn't have any discs. I'd go to Rocky's and get a setup. Panther,
It's
a fucking
so funny.
MRV.
Because that was the only place.
Yeah, that was
Besides
it.
CJ's.
Yeah,
CJ's next to Hudson Mills.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Where did you get discs? Because we had one guy that would come to Coldbrook, Nick Cherzan, DJ, whatever the fuck his name is. A dude
Yeah.
come to Coldbrook with boxes in his trunk, and then just open his trunk and be like, "What do you guys want?" And there's
So-
this wheeler deal, cash,
Yeah.
nitrous tank
Well,
at a
so
rave situation.
We
where
had
you're
Ron Russell
Yeah.
as the first touring pro, right? Jim actually bought him a RV.
Yeah.
And Ron literally went on tour.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
so,
sweet.
Yeah. So he lived in his van. He did the first year in his van.
Yeah.
And then he got an RV. So
Yeah.
we always had those discs.
Yeah.
Right. So actually, Gail Vaughn and Ron Russell went on tour together, and had discs made up, like a
Yeah.
stamp. And we bought those. Those were a bunch of different discs. I can't remember what they were, but between him and Don Frank's always giving me discs. And besides those two guys, Rockies.
Yep.
That's where I got my discs. That's where everyone got all their discs.
Yep.
There was no other place.
Yep.
People would get discs out of the river and sell them to you.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
they were no nice discs back then. They were all DX plastic. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like, you know, oh, that's a CE whatever. No,
Yeah.
it's just another. I was a T-Bird. I'll go to Rockies and buy another one.
Yeah.
And you know,
That's
there
great.
were
I
no
can't imagine
stores.
playing with only DX everything.
It was
That's all there
great.
was.
the whole time.
It was
Yeah,
awesome.
exactly.
We
That's
loved it.
crazy.
So what about when the speeds changed? So for me, I didn't play for 10 years. I moved to New York, and then with my job I traveled and I lived in states that didn't really have disc golf. I lived in Virginia. There were 2 courses in the whole state, and then I lived in New York City, whatever. I didn't play for like 10 years. Then I came back. In those 10 years, the rim changed. There's nukes and all that shit. And when I had left, like the driver everybody threw was the Valkyrie. That was like the
That was
disc.
when that Valkyrie came out. For whatever reason, the way it flipped up and to flat,
Yeah.
it was
Everybody.
better than any other disc
Yeah.
ever did that. But when the Destroyer came out, I mean, that changed everything.
Yeah.
Because that went the same thing as a Valkyrie, but twice as far. You
Yeah.
know, maybe not twice as far, but you know what I mean. You could bomb those things, and I don't understand it. You know what the deal? I know I had a hard time getting used to that, and I ended up I didn't throw it because I was still beating people with Valkyries. I'm like,
Well, that's
I don't need a Destroyer. You
Yeah.
guys throw that, whatever.
Yeah.
I found one and
Fucked around
started
with it.
throwing with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like, okay,
I get
one.
it. Yeah.
I'm gonna put one in my bag. Yeah, I actually found one at Firefighters and proceeded to just just see what happens. You know.
Yeah.
I was able to steer that thing everywhere.
Then you're like, fuck you guys. It's
Yep.
over. Yeah.
So yeah, the Destroyer, that, and then the nuke. You know, the nuke I couldn't control as good, but it was the same idea. Just, you know, for whatever that rim, it just travels farther.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, that didn't change a whole lot for me. You know, because like I said, I could still throw the Valkyrie pretty far, and with rollers and stuff, and my hand's not that big, so it wasn't that easy for me to get used to the.
The big rim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, you got to nowadays. I mean, that's my driver. The Destroyer is my main driver.
Yeah, when I came back to Michigan, started playing again. First of all, I threw overhand. I threw one hole 5 at Firefighters. They didn't even make it to the basket. I threw like 350 overhand. Didn't even make it to hole 5. My shoulder popped. I was like, "What the fuck?" And I threw a second one. My shoulder popped again, and it made it like 2/3 the way there. And I was like, "Guess it's time to learn a backhand." But then I was talking to people, and they were talking about like how far they throw and all this other shit. And they're like, "This pro and that pro," and they're like, "Give me these distances," and I'm just like. Yeah, it just doesn't seem like realistic to me. Like maybe
Scott Stokely didn't have a problem with back then with throwing 600, whatever the record was.
yeah.
Well, that was with a Cyclone.
yeah,
Like he's
Yeah,
throwing.
that
like,
is nutty.
I know.
Yeah.
And then he threw a sidearm. I'm not sure what he
Like-
threw. It was like I forgot what it was, but he threw a sidearm over 500 feet.
yeah,
Now that's way back in the day, so you could do it.
yeah.
He's
I
just
couldn't.
built for. He is such a lanky guy,
Yeah.
and then he's just like 6'7", 6'8", or whatever it is.
Yeah, and his like actual like speed of turn when he's throwing is like
Yeah.
he for as like
Yeah.
kind of lanky and awkward as he is, like the actual like rotation that he's doing is so tight. and
It's very
fast.
compact.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
he doesn't,
'cause he doesn't run up, no.
Yeah, he just kind of walks up. Boom!
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's gone.
Yeah, his-
I played with him this year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was pretty cool because he's still got big power, not like he used to.
Yeah,
But he still drives exactly the same.
yeah.
And it's that last step. He just
Wham.
that last, and he's able to however he does it, he's a big dude, obviously.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember watching a video tutorial of him giving like a clinic with blue hair throwing forehands, and he's explaining it, and I'm watching, and I'm like, what the fuck's this guy talking about? And even like the crowd that's there is like, what the fuck's this guy talking about? And then he does that like bowling approach with his forehand, takes like the 3-step and then just rips his throw, and then the video like pans to the crowd, and they're all
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
All right, how do I do that?
Yeah, he's like, all right, so you just
I'm
go
so sorry.
forward, backward, and then pull through on the step, and they're like, okay, yeah. And then he throws it, and they're like, wait, all right, can we go over that again? What did you just
It's
do?
so funny because there was video back in the day.
Yeah.
And I used to spend time looking for it and trying to get it, and it wasn't that easy.
Yeah.
Until the internet, but it would be nice to watch those guys in their prime. Like we can watch these guys now, like Wysocki and Macbeth. It'd be so cool to watch just some random tournament with Climo and Stokely and Schultz.
There's the one that's at Hudson Mills with Who is it? The lizard lawyer?
Is it the
Mark
Worlds?
Ellis?
Worlds?
Is-
I don't think
what
it's
video?
Worlds. It's just like a video at Hudson Mills. And
D-Glow when it was at Hudson
I
Mills?
think it's D-Glow at Hudson Mills.
Yeah,
and
that was
Mark
always
Ellis
a
was
big
walking around.
stop.
They had like a was it like was it a skins match? And then that guy
I
like
think
throws in
so.
extra money.
Okay, yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like
yeah.
Stokely, Climo, Ron Russell, and then there's one other guy who I can't remember who the fourth guy
Might
is.
have been Scott.
Yeah, I don't
Or
know.
Mike Randolph, possibly.
I think it was Mike Randolph.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
I
I
think
think
is
I know
right.
the video you're talking about.
But you know someone is sitting on like a case of VHS, right? Of just
Yeah.
like everything that was released from back in the day that was a junkie that obviously is probably still not very technologically savvy.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
it's just like
the Worlds were Ron, that video, that
Yeah.
that was far and above any video production back in the day.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
wonderful. Most of the other stuff was dorks like us.
yeah, someone's camcorder.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
Super shaky, 8-bit graphics.
it would be so nice to see that, you know.
Yeah.
But there are some videos, you know. There
Yeah.
are some, like, I think you can see almost all Kenny's Worlds. Not all the rounds, but I think, you know, the final rounds and stuff.
I can
see a
remember
lot of them.
someone having the video of like an old Kenny Worlds like in the 90s. Like I remember watching it in the 90s and it's like Kenny's like -37 and like second place is like -6. And it's like, dude, fucking Climo, yada yada.
So
It's like,
that's another argument. I always, you know, how like the GOAT argument, who's the best. You know, Kenny had a 10-30-40 rating on firefighter courses where he's blowing out the competition after 2 rounds.
yeah,
So I don't know how he got such a high rating.
yeah,
10-40, there's not 10-40 ratings at firefighters.
right.
You know, I think Herzog shot a 10-50 one time, and he said they added a bunch of holes.
Is that where he shot 17 down or whatever?
Whatever.
Yeah,
That's why I'm like,
yeah.
how did you get a 10-50 out there? He's like, well, they added all these holes. I buried them all.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It was second round of Firefighters Classic. He shot 17 down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he missed
so
7
that's
holes.
a 10-50, right? So he shot a 10-50,
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever it was.
But that's what Kenny did, like,
all the time.
all the time.
Yeah.
It's like,
It was the norm.
that was, yeah. So not only is he doing that on easy courses, everyone's like double digits behind him.
Yeah,
And he's still either screwing around or, I don't know, he's probably not pressing like he had to,
Right.
obviously. So, like, I think that's pretty impressive, having that high of a rating on that kind of courses when you've already won after 2 rounds.
yeah,
So that'd be great to see if he pushed every single
Yeah.
tournament like Paul does.
yeah.
You know, how high that rating could have got on better courses, too. Now, maybe he couldn't have thrown as far and he wouldn't score as good, but
Yeah.
Kenny can throw far and he can roll discs really far.
So what is Kenny doing now?
he's injured.
Yeah.
He's injured.
He's back. Yeah, he's
Okay.
got a bad back, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I saw an interview with him last year. It was either last year. No, I think it was the year before because last year was COVID. So I saw an interview with him like a couple years ago, and it was just like, yeah, he's like not really playing because his. I think at the time it was his shoulder,
Something,
maybe or
yeah,
something.
he's injured. He's
Yeah, I
injured.
think there was he had a fall at one point that like helped that injury like spawn more. Like I think there was
Did he
already
miss a? Did he miss a stare?
maybe dude he might have been talking shit to his gerbil
Does
or
he have
something.
a shit talking cat?
Yeah.
Fat fuck.
Gotta watch them things. That last step
I-
will get
It's
you.
an orange tabby.
So I wasn't talking about how bad he is as a cat. I was just talking about like how lucky he is to have me as a father and how great I am. And then I fucking fall down the stairs. I'm in a bathrobe and slippers. I was laid out on the ground naked. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if Karma was a visual,
Yeah.
like it was that whole like that 30-second
yeah.
story.
My much younger wife is looking down the stairs like, did this
Yeah.
happen already? Is this where
Yeah.
we're at? I'm
Like
just gonna
imagine
take
if it was
care
a
of you.
TikTok.
Am I just going to take care of him already?
That's
God,
great.
yeah, it's fucking embarrassing.
You just get a bunch of people doing the same TikTok, talking shit to their cat, and then falling down the stairs.
It was loud. Anyways, whatever. So, so yeah, for me though, when I came back and then like all these people were throwing super far, and then someone gave me a nuke, and that was the first like, what's a beast? A beast is like an 8-speed. Oh no, a beast is a 10-speed.
Yeah, it's
So I think the beast was the biggest rim I'd ever thrown, and then someone handed me a nuke, and like right when they handed it to me, I was like, oh, no wonder why you fucking guys can throw so far. Like this is like a weapon. I remember just thinking like, dude, this is crazy. And then I threw it, and I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Have you ever held a Ninja?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The old school
The
one that
Gateway?
was like a 16, 17 speed. Have
Yeah.
you?
yeah,
It's
that,
hilarious.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so
That
funny.
one and what was the other one they had that was crazy? The Speed Demon.
Yep. Yeah,
What
that
was
one
it?
was
And
wild.
they had one
But
that was like super fucking stable.
Spirit.
It was like the original tilt, the Spirit.
Yeah, the Spirit.
Yeah, you
it
couldn't
was
really
the,
throw
just-
it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like an 11 speed
Yeah.
tilt-ish
Yeah.
kind of. I remember Bernie when he was like with Gateway or whatever it was that he had set up, and I was like, I want to spear it, and he's like, okay, and then I got it and I threw it at Riverbends. I skip shot it off the pavement on accident, but I threw it on like a crazy Anheuser, and it came out. I was like, this is perfect. I don't even care that I like smoked the
exactly
curb.
what I want. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny. So this year for the tournament, who are you picking for the playoffs?
Oh,
We have
the Stony Creek.
Yeah, Stony Creek Open.
So,
So
This
you're
Friday,
out.
shout out.
You're out. You had the injury.
Yeah,
Yet you were telling us before the
not make it.
podcast you tore up your groin a little
Yes,
bit. Nothing
bad
weird.
groin.
Disc golfing. Yeah.
yep, just
Yep.
the easy little sidearm shot, and took me out.
Yep.
Still kind of,
Little tender.
still
Yeah.
kind of hurting from it, but I like to see the new guy. I want to see Ty win.
Yeah.
It's a tall order. He's got to beat Skyler, Ryan, and 2J.
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
three
the perennials.
really
I mean,
good,
I
like-
wouldn't be surprised he went out there and aced twice, and everyone
Yeah.
just quit. Like, you know what, dude? Whatever. I don't.
His run of aces a few weeks ago was the dumbest shit
It's actually
ever.
annoying
it
seeing
was.
him post how much on Facebook. It's like, dude, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, I see it and it's like, whatever,
then,
dude.
Then he won't get the ace, and he'll still win the ace pool throw off. That motherfucker has won more ace pool throw offs. Like
Yeah.
we played Hudson Mills. I don't know what tournament it was. It was an A tier, and we went out there and played. And I don't know if I was still an AM at the time or not, but I remember like he won the division, won all this shit, won a 50-50, and then they had the ace pool throw off, and he like pinned it, and he got like a basket for the ace pool throw off, and he was just like blah blah blah, and I was like, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just annoying.
I
at
didn't know
this
that was
point.
his-
Like, good job.
It's
Whatever.
been his year. I think he won the one Friday night league a couple times and aced a couple times. So that's not bad for Ty money.
Yeah.
That's
you
wild.
know?
Rob said, imagine someone taking old video and re-editing with updated graphics. That'd be dope.
Yeah, like follow
That'd be
flight.
yeah, that'd be so cool.
But when I watched the video before with Scott, I was like, yeah, Scott's like the original Simon. Like Simon is like
Yeah,
the
Scott's still
follow up
great.
Scott
Yeah,
because like
he-
they're all throwing the same
crazy.
shot. Like Barry, Ken, and Ron are all like throwing like relatively the same shot.
Normal,
Like
normal people shots.
yeah, Barry has like a little bit more flex to his throw than Ron and Ken, and then like Scott's like, I'm gonna throw it up over here, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? That like silly slow walk
and it
up,
looks
and then
better in person than it does on video.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because it's like some of these gaps that Simon hits is just like that's not even there, dude.
Yeah.
Like what do you? But yeah, Scott would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you know.
yeah.
That's wild.
Except he had a huge forehand too.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
he's
if
probably
he was
more
a
like
better
Eagle.
putter back in the day. I mean, it's of course you had Kenny didn't really miss much ever.
Yeah.
So, but you know, if Scott could have been a better putter, I mean, I don't know how you could ever beat something like that.
Yeah.
He throws so far and accurate, and not like he wasn't a bad putter at all.
Yeah.
You know, because he, you know, Simon's a lot like him. You know, like they go out of bounds more than anyone I've ever seen, and they're still on the lead card.
Yeah.
You know, they're still in contention. He goes out of bounds every other fucking hole.
Yeah.
Like, how are you still beating everybody?
Yeah.
But they throw so far and they make long putts. You
Yeah.
know? And Scott was a lot like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I
It's
remember.
fun to watch. Just so fun to watch them lines. Man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I had a thing this year watching D-Glow. One of my buddies, he's a guy that I like ball golf with, and I kind of have gotten him into disc golf, so he'll like watch stuff. And he was asking about Eagle's throw at D-Glow standing on the guardrail. And he's like,
Yeah,
"Did you see
that's
that?"
nuts.
He's
Is
like,
that,
"Did
is
you-"
that good?
He goes, "Is that the best shot in disc golf that ever like didn't go in the basket?" And I was like, "It might be." I'm like, "It's definitely in the
Those
running."
are really good.
He's like, "How far was that?" And I was like, "Okay." So I get a full run up. I use my best disc. I get it on the best angle up in the air. I'm probably not even making it to where he got to, and it's like a fucking
How far was that
standstill
shot?
center.
400.
Oh, it's
easily.
over.
Over
It's,
four.
yeah, it's
yeah,
over.
it's
four.
over 4, but it's at least 4.
So the,
Yeah.
the one thing is he's up,
Yeah.
right? So he's up pretty far.
Yeah.
So there's that. I mean,
Yeah.
you just stand
Still.
there.
He
throw.
gave it all she got. Like
Yeah. It
full
was a
Anheuser
perfect
flex
shot.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
But it was
But
Beautiful.
You can't really like the amount you can move with your legs and everything because you're basically like it's not only
yeah.
a standstill.
If he was any shorter, there's no way.
Yeah, no. Now
Yeah.
without
Didn't
changing
someone
your
else
voice.
do have the same shot?
Kyle. Kyle had the same
he
shot,
threw
but
a
he had
backhand.
and he had a run up.
Yeah.
Because he was on the backside of that.
Also threw a great shot.
Also an amazing shot. As I told him, I was like, yeah, another guy threw a backhand shot from there and snuck between the trees and parked it.
Yep.
I was like, also disgusting.
That one looked easier.
Yeah.
But then I'm like looking at my wife. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's really good.
Yeah, it's
It
not.
was really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Simon shot was, or the Eagle shot was,
Mind melting.
yeah, you're like,
Nasty.
I don't know.
Super
How is
nasty.
that possible? Whatever.
Yeah.
I remember seeing both their drives like, oh, that's going to be really hard. And then seeing it and just like, GFM.
It's a 3.
GFM. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a 3.
It's a 3. No problem.
I stopped. I went
Nasty.
up to Traverse City this last weekend. I stopped at Great Lakes on the way back just to like buy a couple discs because they support so many people. And I was hoping Frolly will be there. He was there. I was like, "Hey, dude, what's up?" He's like, "Man, I thought that was you." I was like, "What's going on?" He's like, "What are you doing over here?" I was like, "Wife dragged me on vacation." So, but he was talking about it, and he was like,
my car.
"I don't know."
Oops.
It is.
I'll get you.
No, I got it.
Hold
I
on.
think I got it. I just hit the button on accident.
Nice. Good.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Sorry.
But and as I was
You're
talking
good.
to him, and he was saying when Kyle had that shot, he was just telling him, he's like, "Don't end yourself on the rail." Like as you
Yeah,
run
it
up
looked
to it,
pretty dangerous.
He's like, "Don't." He's like, and then I just stood there. He goes and watching that shot. It was just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. It was-
yeah, yeah, just smashed.
You know, that was the first Great Lakes Open I did not play in a while.
yeah.
And I'm kind of bummed because there's no Masters field at all. Like, there's no
Oh, not even on the AM side.
there's no pro anything but just girls and boys.
Yeah.
So it's not like I couldn't play. I just
Right.
Do you want to compete with guardrail sidearms?
I'll do it.
Like-
yeah, I probably should have, but I mean, by the time we were able to sign up, there was already like
was over.
I think there was like 15 spots or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got lucky. I got
Yeah.
super lucky.
Yeah.
But you know, the move now is to get on wait lists.
Yeah.
Because those wait lists move quick.
yeah. He
You know,
moved
that-
up
Okay.
like 27 in a day. Or
Yeah,
something.
but for Idlewild, I moved 0. I moved 0 spots. I signed up
Really?
the months before. I was 36th or 38th on the wait list when I signed up, however many months back. And then it didn't change until literally like the couple days before when everyone's like, I'm not getting in. So I moved up the wait list, but I was still like 22nd, like, or 22nd on like the night before. Like, dude, it was wild.
not getting in.
No, and I didn't expect out of like most of the courses, if not all of them, like that's the one I'm not going to get in, and it makes sense. Like the course is sick.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah,
much
it's
fun. It's
great.
like, yeah, it's wild.
But that's that's what you want to do. You know, a little secret here that we're on the internet, but you want to get on a. If you can't get in, just get on the wait list. There's
Yeah.
a good chance you're going to be able to play.
Mm-hmm.
Because people sign up and they don't even not even sure if they can play. They want to make sure if they can play, they can get there.
Right.
And then deal with the refund later.
The
Yeah,
only
definitely.
issue I had before this year was Am World. So last year I stayed in Am so I could play Am Worlds because I never got to play it. I was selling cars at the time. The morning of sign up, I got to work early and I was like, great. Well, I was the first person there, so there's someone standing in the fucking showroom. So like, Darren, can you help this guy? I was like, yeah, totally. Sits down, totally just wasted my time. We're just like running through the time and I'm looking at the phone and I was like, all right, yeah. And then finally Rob texted me and he's like, dude, if you're going to sign up for Worlds, you need to fucking sign up. It's filling. And I was sitting there and I was like, all right, hold on. I got to look up something online. And I got on. And by the time I signed up, I think I was like 11th on the wait list or something. I got all the way to first. So the week before they had the cutoff, I'm like bribing people online. Like, dude, you can have my player pack and I'll give you $100.
Oh
like,
my
let me go.
gosh.
Nobody would take it. And I contacted the guy and I was like, can I just come? And then if somebody doesn't show up, I'll just take their tea time, whatever it is. Like, and I'll just float it. And if no one quits, then then I'm out the whatever deposit I have to put for my lodging. And he's like, no, we're not going to do that. And I was like, all right. So then I was like, literally, there's one guy in front of me. He ended up getting in, and we were just both like pooling money. Like, we'll just try to buy people out and whatever. And we couldn't. And I got like right to the top of the wait list, and then they closed it. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then this year with the wedding, I couldn't sign up for anything because like everything is tied up in the wedding. Real estate closed. So like all the money I had, I'm like, I'd feel like a douche if my wife's like, all right, yeah, so it's going to be $600 for the flowers. And I'm like, well, I got all this money tied up on these sweet wait lists, but,
that's a
it
problem,
might pay
isn't it?
off later, like,
because by the end of February, I'm like hundreds deep.
Yeah.
And, so that's definitely a new dynamic.
Yeah,
in-
this
in
year
our
was way
sport.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta get used to this whole new sign up 3 months ahead of time and basically plot out a tour, your personal tour.
Yeah, even if you're
January.
just local.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
dude, what's all the places here? And then
Yeah.
just hoping that people like are on top of the tournaments. And then just what pops up, and then are you on top of it? Because
Yeah.
like you're just going to be on the wait list.
Yeah,
and then
and
for
then you
sure,
gotta-
like the pro tour, it's
The
like
reg schedule, you have to set your schedule to the registration schedule, not just the tournament
Yeah.
schedule.
So when it opens,
When
you're
it-
there.
yeah.
Yeah. There was a one point where I had sticky notes like all on my wall of like this day, like this is when it opens for me. So like this day I have to be on here like the day before. I have a reminder on my phone to remind me that the next day is like registration time and stuff. And it's like, dude, it just
It's a
sucks being
good
on the
problem to
second
have.
wave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good problem in our sport to have
Totally.
that,
So do you think that they're going to change regulations in terms of like how many tournaments in a specific area by rating or by like the level of tournament and stuff by the tier? Yeah. Do you think they're going to loosen that up because of this year?
That's a good question. I mean, it depends on how many players. Like, we have a lot of players now. So if there's enough players to fill multiple B tiers within a certain region, then yeah, they'll do it.
Yeah.
I think that we're there now. I mean,
Yeah,
Dougie,
that'd be sweet. Like if
Dougie's
there's a
doing it
couple
down
B
in-
tiers.
Doug's doing that 100 people tournament.
Watson?
No, Doug.
McIntosh.
Yeah, McIntosh.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Did you see
What's
those
that?
pigs he got?
I did.
Oh, dude, those look sick as fuck.
What?
He got custom stamped
Yeah.
pigs for the My Little Piggy Open or whatever
Yeah,
the fuck
he's
the
pretty
tournament he's
excited about
doing.
it.
Really?
So he's been trying to get custom stamped pigs forever,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
he finally got them. So he came home and they like he had boxes of them in his house. So they're like glow. I don't know if they're R Pro. I think they're like R Pro
They probably are.
glow,
Yeah, yeah.
and they just have a picture of like a real like
It's a pig snout. It's
yeah,
like a-
just like
Really?
a pig.
yeah, 2 eyes and a snout.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
dude,
a
that's
like
awesome.
a 5-year-old drew a picture of a pig right on it. They look so fucking sick though.
That's I'll have
like,
to
man.
reach out later today.
Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, like, as far as like, that's a great problem to have is
Yeah.
all these people and
Yeah.
all these tournaments, and they're all filling.
Yep.
All of them.
Yeah, like crazy fast.
Yeah.
Not like eventually, but
Can
like
you find a tournament that's not full?
Yeah.
You know, maybe-
eventually.
maybe some of the unsanctioned ones that are on the same weekend in the same city where 2 other tournaments are filled.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could probably get into something
Yep.
like that.
Yeah.
You know, so that's definitely a great, interesting thing. Like, what are we going to do about that?
Yeah.
Are we going to have, PDGA sanctioned TDs maybe? That could be a thing too, where, if you're going to sanction an event, you got to have certain, qualifications and
Well, they were talking about you have to have a PDGA membership to do a B tier next year is what they're trying to get at. So that way you can't just do it.
that's
Yeah, I know.
paying $75. Doesn't-
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, and I was thinking the other thing is like the hardest is pro, right? Because as a TD, you're not really making money off of the pro. So then most of the tournaments like just seem like it's just so many AMs. Like I played
Yeah.
a handful of tournaments this year after the wedding, and it's like 5 dudes, 9 dudes, 7 dudes.
That's another thing. I hate that about it. You want to offer as much disc golf as you can to people, but I don't like 8 people divisions.
Yeah.
I'd rather have fewer divisions with bigger bigger fields.
Yeah.
Because I threw a tournament last year. It was 100 people were there, and I'm giving out like $35 prizes and $15 prizes because the entry fees are so low, and you only got like 8 guys because I think I had 8 or 9 divisions.
Yeah.
So
There's a shit
never
ton.
a big fan of that. I'd like to have few divisions as possible. I actually talked to Doug about that Sunday, about what we could do to get bigger divisions. And courses like Stony that has 2 courses, we can run 144 people a day on one course and have the other course open to the public, and then the next day have everyone tee off on that course.
Yeah.
And you play 2 separate courses because places like Stony, they don't want to close the course.
Right.
River Bends, they probably won't want to close the course. Addison Oaks, they probably will. Addison Oaks does. But, places like Stony or Hudson Mills with 2 courses, you can reserve one for the whole day, tee off 144 people in one day.
Yeah.
Now, if let's say you have 10 divisions, that's 14 people
Yeah.
per division on average.
It's
right?
never going to work out like that.
Right,
You're going to
so-
have 45 guys in AM2 and 45 in AM3.
So
and then
that's what we were talking about. It's
3
like
in open.
You have
6
an AM
pros.
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have an AM weekend, like they're doing
case you need
down
a
in
diffuser.
Florida.
Yeah.
Like the Throw Down the Mountain, they have at least 3 weekends,
Mhm.
right? So that's probably what we need to start doing.
Yeah.
When you have the Stony Creek Open, it's 3 weekends. AM3, and whoever those huge, the beginners are, then AM2 will be like, I'm sorry, the first weekend will be the AM3. Second weekend will be, all the ladies, maybe the Pro Masters, AM1s, and then the final week was put all the money into the Pro division.
Right. Yeah.
That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, because we were talking about earlier in the year of like having more exactly that of like splitting up divisions and having different tournaments. And if they opened up kind of like having the same tiered tournament within like a different distance, could you do it even closer if one of those tournaments is AM only and the other tournament is pro only? So then,
you can do that already.
so
yeah.
even on the same weekend,
Yeah.
you could have like an AM only tournament at Indy and then have a pro only tournament at Lakeshore.
They've done that. So I did that with Mark Stevens. Had an A tier at Holly
Okay.
for amateurs only.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can I run a tournament that weekend if it's just pro? He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
as long as it's just pro. You know?
Right.
And I think his was full anyway. It like filled like super fast. So.
Right. Everyone wants to go out there and lose to the hunts. They're like, fuck
Right.
it, let's go. Yeah. I want my rating to tank and I want to lose to the hunts.
But you know, disc golf has evolved so much. A typical tournament, we'd go to firefighters type of course and play, and it wouldn't fill.
Yeah.
Right. So you could have 15 divisions and still, you know, cater to everybody.
Yeah, I remember just walking up the day out.
Yeah,
like
the day
I
of.
definitely
You
remember
never-
like
If it was full, it's a surprise.
we're gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Saturday morning and play this tournament. No
Mm-hmm.
sign up, no nothing. Then you just show up and you're like, boom, I'm like the 8th guy there, and I'm like warming up in the dew, and then you're playing.
Yeah.
I never went to a tournament where they were like, yeah, you can't get in, and I was like, oh, okay.
And that's such a new dynamic, you know,
Yeah.
because people don't like hearing that they can't get in. You know, as a matter
Yeah.
of fact, the guys from the Motor City Open would actually add holes.
yeah,
So we're getting ready to play at some course, and all of a sudden, we're gonna play 3 extra holes out here because 16 people just signed up. And
Yeah.
we didn't want to turn them away.
yeah,
Like, well, you filled the course. It's success. Now you're doing this. You
Now
kind of
you're doing some weirdness.
But I get it. You know, you don't want to turn them away.
Yeah.
But that's we had to go through that growing pain, and now you have to sign up. Now you know you sign
we
up
have
early.
a different growing pain, and then
different
hopefully it
growing
does
pain.
turn into like pro weekend, AM weekend,
Yeah.
whatever, and then split up however.
I think that's the
Yeah.
way to do it.
yeah. I think it'd be
I think
great.
that'd be really,
Get
really
bigger
cool.
fields, more fun, bigger prizes. You know,
Mhm.
and there's so many divisions. We don't need all the divisions we have.
Yeah.
I think there could be more age divisions, but AM2, AM3, AM4,
Yeah,
AM4, what?
yeah,
So even AM3, I think is a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah, that answered a question that I had that I wanted to ask you was, are there too many divisions, or should it
Yeah.
be broken up differently, or can stuff kind of be like merged together to create like a more unanimous division that probably makes, I don't know,
You gotta get people
more age protected
okay with
makes sense.
losing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's so when I throw a B tier, I have to give every amateur X amount of dollars in a player pack.
disc dollars. Oh,
And that
no
comes
player
out of their entry fee.
Yeah,
So if you pay $35, you're really only paying for 25 minus the PDJ fee. You're paying for like $22.
yeah. Sweet.
Right?
Gotcha.
So so
Yeah.
I kept telling them like the last few years, I'm like, you guys are gonna start paying $50
Yeah,
so I can give you a good payout.
yeah,
You know, because I didn't want to give you guys $15 payout.
What if the lower
$25.
divisions? This was something I talked about. Maybe we talked about it or not. Fred and I for sure talked about this. Was trophy only for like AM2 and below to make it like. I mean, you're getting your like reps in, but you should be moving up. So like, if you're just sandbagging AM3, yeah, I can totally see the TD like, dude, you're killing it, and you get like bumped up to like AM2 or whatever. I've seen that a couple times. Maybe it's kind of weird, maybe not, but at least the next tournament, like, dude, you can't sign up for AM3. Like, you won by 20 strokes. Go to
Yeah.
AM2, but you can't do that from like actual amateur to pro.
Yeah.
Because that's
the PDJ
different.
addressed that, you know, with because there are guidelines, right? To AM2 is, I don't know what the cutoff is. Your rating is like 900.
900. Yeah.
Okay.
There's
And
that fun 900 rating dance.
Yeah, and
where you
that's-
like throw a
that's-
980 round, and then like the next week you just throw 2 like 700 rating rounds, so you can get back to AM3.
Yeah,
I
and
wanna
then the
say that's
980
the
never
biggest-
happened.
Isn't that the biggest population? Of
Yeah, right there.
Yeah,
900?
right
yeah, those
there.
are the biggest ones
Yeah.
everywhere.
Right
Like,
at
it
the
doesn't matter.
border.
Like, oh, this is full. Like, sweet, maybe there's a ton of pros, and it's like 8 pros, and then it's where's everything else, and then you get once you scroll down, you see AM2, and it's like, oh, 56
Yeah,
of you.
keep scrolling.
And
Yeah.
then the other one,
Scrolling.
oh, like another 50 of you. Like that's where it all went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
still,
that's good though. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Just we have to
Yeah.
we have to be better at figuring out how to accommodate that many people, and then also keep it going up, moving all that money up to the pro division.
Yeah.
Like, I've always wanted to keep that in mind, because that's what we're all shooting for. We want to play the best golf with
You
the
win
best
worlds,
players
you get
and with the most money.
$100,000.
yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That's another idea I had too. If the PDGA raises their sanctioning fee by like $1, you could take it. That's $1 per player per sanctioned event. Okay, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Especially now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like
hundreds of
guaranteed
thousands.
money.
Yeah.
Guaranteed without.
And that's a $1 increase on all our entry fees. So
Yeah.
like I'm
I'd
paying
pay that.
$112 to play my last tournament.
Yeah. We'd
I'd
all
pay
pay the dollar.
113.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the winner of the Worlds can get $100,000.
Yeah. I remember when I found out that the winner of Worlds won $5,000.
It's embarrassing.
And I remember like losing my mind. I was like, you win a like shitty used car. Like you don't even win like a sweet
I know.
used car. It's like, hey dude, you just won the Worlds. You're the best disc golfer.
Yeah.
Here's an 84 Nova.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, suck
Or,
it.
or a Pinto Gremlin.
I own you guys.
It's got
Oh,
licorice,
it's so
dude.
bad. It's so bad. But you know, Kyle Klein won
yeah, $16,000.
what?
I think he won $16,000.
That one tournament?
For
No, it
next
was
gen.
No.
Or-
No,
For-
no,
for
the
the
last
one that he
tournament.
just won.
It wasn't 16,000, was it?
I don't know.
Oh, the Pro
think it
Tour.
was like
I'm not sure what it
5,000.
was.
What's his name? Conrad won $16,000 in prize
Oh,
money.
that's for Worlds.
Yeah,
Okay.
for Worlds.
Mine
I'm talking
was-
about just that last tournament that Kyle won.
Yeah, let me
That
look.
was like $5,000.
I think it was
Yeah.
more than $5,000.
But
Well,
that's what I'm
let's
saying.
look
Like
it up,
that's not the Worlds, and that's the kind of money we need to keep these guys on tour. So it's it's a good $1,000 per stop, I would say, if you to be comfortable. You could probably do it on 500 to re-entry fees, gas to get to the next place, food. $500 is pushing it.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
for sure.
to win less than
especially with how
$500
expensive gas is everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, if you win less than $500 a weekend, it's going to be rough.
Yeah, that's crazy. My biggest one with like the World's like you're the best was
You're the best.
Yeah, I forget who won. I think it had to have been Paul. He got like $6,000 or something, and then Shoestrick won USDGC and got 17 or something. And I was like,
Yeah.
that seems backwards. Like,
Yeah, the first time I think Nico won $10,000 at
Yeah.
USDG. That was the biggest purse ever, $10,000.
yeah,
And
He
we were
won.
just-
He won $9,000.
he won
Kyle
nine.
did.
Yeah, Kyle won $9,000 at Idlewild.
Wow,
Sick.
$9,000.
that's good money.
That's
Yep.
good money.
Go
Very.
scroll down. How much? What's the last guy that won $1,000? What place was
Yeah,
that?
How
Hold
deep's
on.
that go?
Hold on.
I'm gonna guess about 20th place.
Okay, so $1,000. We did this with pro golf, and it'll just make you want to cry.
No, it's $10,000 is
Like-
last cash.
No, like to for prize money for the year of being over $1 million. I think it was like 100 people. I think like the 100th guy
It's
in pro golf.
$10,000 to enter a tournament in golf, though. No.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's about $10,000 to
Yeah.
enter.
What was it? Because I think we also looked up.
15th. No. We looked it up. If you're a touring pro and you have your card, I don't think you're paying an entry fee. Like if
Well, your
you're
sponsors
if
do.
you're on the tour, yeah.
Your sponsors pay it.
Yeah,
So
I remember.
it's
Go ahead. Sorry.
$1,000 is 15th.
The last $1,000.
Last $1,000 was 15th.
Okay.
And then the
Okay.
last person to cash was 48th, and you got $60.
Aye.
And it cost you two something.
Is
But
that even like?
It's only because they tied. There was 5 guys, so last cash was
Okay.
probably 45th, and you probably got $300
Yeah.
because it cost you $270 to play.
Right.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
and you're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I like the $9,000.
I like the $9,000.
$9,000 is
Yeah.
really good.
Don't
Yeah.
like the $60.
15th place getting $1,000. So the money's getting up. I got 4th place and got $700 this year in the
Where
tournament.
at?
I can't remember.
I feel like I saw the picture on Facebook. though, or
Wait, see,
whatever.
see in
The-
Delwood, in Chicago, and Delwood, I got 3rd. I got 680,
Yeah.
and then the 4th place. Oh, that was Ledgestone. I got 4th place at Ledgestone. I got $700,
Oh yeah.
and that's like
That's
an
nasty.
MP40.
Yeah.
That paid for the trip.
Yeah.
and I didn't even play good. I mean, I did. I played kind of good.
So when you talk about stuff now, and I've been at tournaments, the only time I ever had like a shitty experience at a tournament, you were like the first person. I didn't really know you, but I knew like you're a level-headed guy, and I walked up to you and I was like, "Hey, this is what just fucking happened to me. Like, what's going on?" You're like, "Oh, it's like blah blah," blah, and you're like the voice of reason. And I was like, "Sweet, that's what I was looking for." Like, I know it's a small community. You don't want to be up there and be like, "What the fuck," but obviously, like maturity lends itself to being level-headed. When you were coming up, you played hockey before this, right? You're a
Yeah.
big hockey player. So have you always been a level-headed guy? Or when you were younger, were you more like a hot-headed guy? Or
No,
have you always just
no,
had the same demeanor?
I learned at an early age. Anger is energy leaving your body.
Yeah.
And I want to use as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can get mad, but you got to get unmad.
Yeah.
And I play with some hot-headed players that were embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I've seen, I've seen some pretty hot-headed players, and I don't
Yeah.
want to be like that.
Yeah.
So that helped.
Yeah.
And really good players that
Yeah.
probably shouldn't be playing golf.
Yeah, they get heated.
It's just too much for them.
Yeah.
So I've been, luckily I've always been halfway decent at sports I played, and so I've never been the best, right? So I don't know. I just had a good outlook on it. I know there's always going to be someone better than me.
Yeah.
And I like the Nate Sexton quote about back when he was in his 20s, it was really easy to get embarrassed.
Yeah.
And that has a lot to do with it. A lot of the guys getting pissed off and angry. They're just embarrassed that they screwed up.
Yeah.
And you get over that. I got nothing to prove to anybody anymore.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the way I look at it back then. I didn't want to act like these guys I seen getting all hot-headed, because a lot of the guys I'm beating anyway. And then I'm going to act like a dick and beat them.
Yeah.
And crying the whole time.
Yeah.
Fuck that. That sucks. It's like you beat me by 10 strokes and you're crying.
And I watched you lose your shit the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what the name of the podcast is now.
That sucks.
But yeah, that had a lot to do with it. Watching
God.
other people that couldn't handle themselves.
Yeah.
And thinking maybe you shouldn't be playing golf, bro.
Yeah.
This might be too much for
Yeah.
Yeah. To keep the balance.
you.
Yeah. That's funny. So at this point in your game, you've lost distance from when you played before, right? Like in your prime, whenever that would be.
I would say so. But the disc keep getting better, better and go farther. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think I'm losing distance, but they still go
Kinda
pretty far.
balance it out.
You're
Yeah.
not throwing blizzard plastic. You
I'm
don't
not. I
need
did
blizzard
that.
plastic.
I did that. I think that helped my game.
Mm-hmm.
The
It
blizzard?
Helped,
Yeah.
the form helped my form a lot, because when I went back to the heavier discs, I was like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I could throw them farther.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you got to be real in tune to throw that blizzard stuff. I remember the first time I ever threw it was at Stony. I threw a yellow blizzard, I think it was a boss, because they only had bosses at first
The
or
bosses
whatever.
went the farthest.
Yeah, there was some. It was like the bubbles were in the flight plate.
Yep,
the first run, like
The
it was
first runs,
super
yeah.
sick, and I remember like thinking I threw my arm out because there's like nothing there.
Yeah.
It's like this doesn't feel anything, so I just like whipped my arm somewhere and like it went somewhere, but then my arm was all tingly. I was like, I don't know what that is. Like
The only person I know that throws blizzard plastic that I play with is Bob Barker. He has a blizzard. Well, dude's had like 85 back surgeries.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
should not be
that's
playing.
Yeah, he shouldn't be
crazy.
Yeah,
playing.
he should not be
He's
playing.
a fucking military guy. He's
So
tough
what?
as shit. I know. But he's got a blizzard boss, but it's fucking stable for a blizzard disc.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're different now.
Yeah.
The blizzard, because I used to throw them too, and Skyler was asking me, he's like, why don't you throw those anymore?
Yeah.
Those blizzard bosses, they don't fly like they used to.
Yeah.
I don't know what they did different.
like flippier now.
They're
they're-
less flippy.
Yeah, they're more
Oh.
stable now.
They would
Gotcha.
stand up and go very far. Now they're overstable.
Yeah.
Seems like.
Wild.
They dialed it in.
But yeah,
Yeah,
my first experience with that was Brian Chavella.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in forever.
We were at Sunnybrook, and we were throwing on hole one, and I threw a roller like way past everybody. And I'm fucking walking out like, yeah, way past everybody. Here comes Chavella, is like walking way past me. He's like, yeah, it was an air shot too. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it wasn't. He's like, yeah, dude. And he threw it over to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa. What? First time I ever
Yeah.
seen him, like, what is this? He's like, yeah, throw that.
Yeah.
I
That's
couldn't
hilarious.
throw it. It took me a while to be able to throw it.
Yeah, I wonder how he's doing. I wonder where he's at.
He threw that disc 600 feet.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
We talked before about disc golf ghosts. So you have people that were like really active in disc golf, really big part of your life, and then all of a sudden it's been like 6 months since you've seen them, and then like years go by, and you're like, what the fuck happened? Now with
Yeah.
like opioids and stuff, I've had a few of like my disc golf ghosts. Like all of a sudden I see on Facebook they OD'd and died. They like fell off from disc golf, probably fell off from their entire lives and got into whatever. And like, have you what have you had like a bunch like with as long of a career as you've had? Have you had a bunch of like people that
yeah.
were like really into disc golf and then they just fucking walked
Disappeared.
away?
I mean, yeah.
Like as people got families, or they just like plateaued, weren't getting any better, and they were like, "Fuck this, I'm done with it."
You know, like when I turned pro and you won a tournament, you'd win like $300.
Yeah,
Second place get 180.
right. But you're getting all the ladies.
Yeah. We're getting laid
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
So, then like I said, there was like
All
5
the
guys
time.
you couldn't beat.
Yeah.
You know, Scott, Al, Mike. There's like 5 guys you couldn't beat.
Yeah,
So if they didn't come, you got a chance to actually get a couple $100 maybe.
Right.
So it's not really worth it, and you're there all day.
yeah,
You're there all day.
yeah,
Right. So, just people, they lose interest. They got better things to do, For whatever reason, I got hooked, I wasn't winning all the time either. I was cashing a lot, but, I beat Scott Martin once.
Yeah.
I beat Al a couple times, but mostly just getting your ass kicked.
Eat it, Scott Martin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. You're not here to defend
Yeah.
yourself.
I beat
What are
him.
you gonna do about it?
I beat him at River Bends back in the day. It was a Rady Heiser course.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's a lefty player.
All right.
So I think
owned
I
him.
beat him by like 2.
Yeah.
So,
Sounds dominant
Nailed
to
it.
me.
yeah, killed him.
That's a lot.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
So when you played hockey, did you play hockey competitively?
Yeah.
You played for your school and
Well,
everything?
no,
No.
there was no hockey in school back then.
Okay.
So I grew up by USA Arena on Mound and M59, and that eventually got bought out by Joe Dumars.
Yep.
It's Joe Dumars Fieldhouse, and he put roller hockey. I think 3 roller hockey rinks in there, and that's when I got into it big time. So the Red Wings had won the Stanley Cup in '96,
Yep.
and we all started playing hockey.
Yeah.
So I was in my 20s when I started playing. So it was after high school, and we played till we all got hurt.
Yeah.
Right. So I got hurt in like '99. I blew up my rotator cuff, and that was end of that. But it was basically just I played pickup hockey for a couple years, then I played on the league for 3 years,
Yeah.
and it was just 4-on-4. It was great. It was my favorite sport I've ever played.
Yeah.
By far, better than disc golf.
Yeah.
Way more fun than this. I loved playing hockey.
Yeah.
The only problem was everyone in the league I played would just chase the puck.
Yeah.
So you had like 2 guys in your team that play defense. So that's what I did, and that was fun for me because I was smarter than everybody, but I wasn't as fast.
Yeah.
But I had a great slap shot, and I knew where everyone was going.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I did that till I got hurt, and I blew up my shoulder. That took about 2 years to heal because it didn't tear. It just I tore it. I flared it out, and he said if he would have ripped it, it would have been better than what you did. He's like, you just kind of smashed it. So what I did, I forced my arm up. I couldn't move my arm.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll move it, and I moved it up and smashed. I just ripped it. I ripped my tendon. So that took about a year and a half to
Oh
fix.
my God.
Yeah.
So
You don't want to move? I got this.
yeah. Well, it was weird. I mean, that was stupid.
Yeah.
I'm stupid. That was dumb. That was a bad move.
Yeah.
Caveman.
Yeah. But my therapist was really good looking, and she rubbed me down with the ultrasound thing. And
Yeah.
That was cool.
Everything
So it's
happens
like
for a reason.
5 days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The shoulder.
It's 3
Yeah.
days a week.
Yeah.
Are you here Saturday? I'm looking to do overtime.
So that was '99.
It just
right?
seems like it's not getting better.
Yeah.
I got to come more often. Yeah.
And so I didn't play, and that's when I stopped playing, and I got back into disc golf, and CE Plastic came out, and they
Yeah.
built Stony Creek, and I couldn't play hockey anyway,
Yeah.
and yeah, so I just got back into disc golf, and that was my jam, dude. That's what I did.
So did you grow up playing sports, or no? You weren't a sports guy? Because I know you're a musician.
I was playing sports. Yeah, I played sports before. Like I made my parents let me join the Shelby Lions. I think I was in 5th grade, so before junior high, you could join the city team. So
Yeah.
I did that, and then I went to junior high, and I joined the football team there. That we were terrible. Like
Yeah.
our coaches were awful.
Were they drunks?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, he couldn't manage the clock,
Yeah.
so we were like, it
Oh,
was
God.
terrible. Yeah, it was awful. And then so I went from Jeanette to Utica High, and the coach went from Jeanette to Utica High.
Sweet.
Yeah. so
Perfect.
we all quit.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, so he stayed there for many years,
Yeah.
and he ended up winning a championship somehow.
Yeah.
But
Talent
yeah,
goes a long way sometimes.
it
Yeah.
just took him a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was a big time football player. I wasn't good or anything, but I was into it,
Yeah.
And then in 11th grade, when I got into high school, they let us play guitar in the jazz band. So that's what
That was your shit then.
Yeah, that was first hour though.
Yeah.
So first hour, 7:00 in the morning. I mean, we never got high or nothing, but
Yeah.
that got me to school, So we
Yeah.
got to, and we were actually pretty good too because we were in a band, we were in a rock band, and most of the kids in the jazz band there was auditions, but everyone got in, and
Yeah.
a lot of guys couldn't play. but all the drummers and all the bass players and all the guitar players could fucking jam.
Yeah.
And we were all good, you know, so we'd play it. So we had a great rhythm section, and like 2 good horn players. Everyone else is like, you know,
Yeah.
could barely do it. And I remember thinking, like,
That's
why
awesome.
are we having these auditions, you know? Let's just get all these, there's 4 dudes we need out here. We don't need all these other people.
Like throwing people out. Let's not even know why you're here. You're wasting our fucking time.
You
You
know,
get fired by your teacher.
I was in band.
I thought it was supposed to be, you know, the best
The elite,
players.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Yeah,
Just
it was a lie.
Called jazz band.
Yeah.
I was in band in middle school. I played trumpet. I really liked it. Didn't practice much at home. And then I went to high school. I was in band. And then I remember I was a good athlete. And so my freshman year, I was the first person in my high school to get a varsity letter. Like first season, I got a varsity letter in cross country. So I had like my letter jacket like freshman year. I'm like one of 3 dudes. I was like, yeah.
I'm a badass.
Here we go.
Yeah.
And then I remember we went from like regular band to like now we're going to do marching band. If you're in the band, you have to participate in marching band. I went to like the first practice. I fucked something up. And then the like cheerleader of my section, which was trumpets, Jason Sweeney, who I love as a person, but at the time, like not the disc golfer Sweeney, but he's
I
like,
was gonna say.
Yeah, I thought so.
We
too.
know
no,
that
no, no,
name.
no.
I was like, dude, is there a
Disc
secret
golfer.
beef
Yeah.
like from back
Different-
then? Like,
different.
I'm gonna text him.
different
Sweens.
Jason
Dude, I
Sweeney.
just heard something.
Yeah.
So he told me to do
Trumpet
push-ups.
Sweens.
He's like,
Really?
do 10 push-ups because I fucked up something in the
Oh.
In
marching,
marching
band.
band?
And I just stared right at him and I was like, yeah, dude, I'm not doing push-ups for you. And he's like, no, dude, you're going to do push-ups. And I was like, yeah, or I could just not do this. Like, it's already embarrassing to my, like, social schedule that I'm here. Like, I'm not going to do it. And then I remember, like, going to Mrs. Cornelius was our teacher. And I remember going in and I'm like, I'm going to drop band. And she was like, no, like, you know, you're going to regret this later. And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm never going to regret this. I was like, I'm good. And then it was the same thing first hour. So I had, like, first hour off. And I remember, like, sitting at the table and it was, like, weeks later. And then he came up to me. He's like, hey, man, why did you drop band? And I was like, yeah, dude, I just told you I'm not doing push-ups for you. Like, there's no way. Like, I don't want to be a dick, but I'm like, there's no way at, like, who I
did all
am
that
right now
stuff.
that I'm doing anything that you
I
tell me
went
to
to
do.
band camp too.
Yeah.
And that push-ups was a thing for some reason.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This dude's standing there. He had, like, a leather biker jacket. And I remember him telling me to do push-ups. And I was like, dude, there's no way. This is just not, like.
Marching
I was
band,
lucky-
leather biker jacket, huh?
Yeah, and he was a cool
Okay.
guy. Like, he
Okay.
was a cool guy. Like, I had no, like, we talked it out. I had no problems with him. I was like, you know, like, whatever, this and that. I was like, but there's no fucking way I'm doing push-ups for band.
But
dude. You
not
gotta
the
be kidding
Jason
me.
Sweeney that we know.
No.
Okay.
That'd be a good story.
Yeah.
I'm
it
still gonna
wasn't.
ask him if he wore a leather
be
jacket.
like-
Maybe it is. I don't know.
That dude got me turned on to Doc Martens, though. And I still
Really?
love Doc Martens to this day. Like, he's the guy that got me into him. And I was like, sweet. I still, like, I'll give him the shout out.
Thanks,
you know?
dude.
And he was a solid dude. I'm not doing
We had
push-ups.
one of our helpers at band camp had a T-shirt, drop and give me 20. Like he would get off on getting
Yeah, well, that's what it
12-year-old
was.
kid, however
Yeah.
old we were, to
Give 'em
screwing up.
push-ups.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Oh my god.
you're a dick.
Yeah.
Like we're kids, dude. And
Yeah.
we're talking about band camp here.
Yeah.
And he literally has he had like a cowboy hat on with a whistle and a shirt that says "Drop and give me 20."
Oh my god.
Like he loved it.
yeah.
Sounds like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Ray
I hope he's still there.
Yeah. Shout out.
Hey.
Drop and give me 20.
Hey,
Yeah.
Ray.
Yeah.
That's funny. So then, have you just played music straight through then? Like from then? Just something you picked up and
I
always
played
stuck
in
with?
bands all through till I was in my 30s, and I ended up doing like jazz quartets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Stopped playing in the rock bands and that party atmosphere too much, you know. So I started teaching lessons in the 90s, like the early 90s.
Okay.
So I've been doing that for a long 26 years now.
Yeah.
So like over half my life been playing I've been teaching a music box. So I think I was 22 and I went to music box. My friend's like, "What are you going to do?" Cuz like so I had a chance to go to Ford. Didn't want to do that. I got more to offer this world than Ford.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to ask my friends, like, I don't know, what should I do? Like, you got to play music, you know, you got to like, go to Music Box and try to get a job there.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And he gave me an audition right there. And I played I was taking classical. I was in college taking classical guitar lessons.
Yeah.
So I was like playing some great shit. So I played some really cool shit for him.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, cool. You're hired.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. So, you know, that was a different time back then. So it was the 90s, right? So I went from making nothing to having all kinds of money, not really working a whole lot, and doing what I love.
Yeah.
So that was basically an afternoon gig. So I worked from like 2:30 to 8, and then either gig at night or Well, I did that for a while. I gigged at night till 2 a.m. So that's what I did till probably I started getting pretty. My cousin came over real early one day on a Sunday. He's like, "Yeah, we're going to play disc golf tournament." I'm like, "I'm going to get my gun, and you get the fuck out of my house, dude. It's Sunday at 8, dude.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to play no stupid tournament."
Yeah.
So, you know, so he ended up getting me out of bed, and that changed my life, man.
Yeah.
Because I was a party animal. I was playing music and out all night, all the time. And
Slaying the ladies. Yeah.
So it was hard
All
to.
for now disc golf.
Yeah.
Well, but I missed like all the league stuff. I worked in the afternoon, so I could never play any. I didn't know anybody. You know?
Right.
So I'd go to the tournaments. They who's this dude? You know.
Yeah.
But I knew like a couple of the hot shots. You know, I knew some of the best players. For whatever reason, I knew Mike Fortin, and I'd play with Al Shack, and Scott never played leagues with us, but you know, Ron and all the other hot shots would play with us. So I knew those guys, but all the guys that were at my level, they didn't know who I was really, because I never played leagues. I was always working at night. So yeah, that went on for many years like that. I work afternoons and then get up in the weekends and play early in the morning.
Yeah.
So that was really hard for me because I'm not a morning person, you know, at all.
So then, guitar wise, who are the people that did you have somebody that you like looked up to and you're like, I want to play like this guy?
Oh my God, yeah.
Who are your guys?
Well, back in the '80s, it was like Eddie Van Halen, obviously, and George Lynch. As I got older and started doing some more jazz stuff, Wes Montgomery came into my life, and this dude, it changed my playing. Because this guy was a jazz player who didn't know how to read music and just self-taught, which was mind-blowing. And
Yeah.
how good he was and everything. So, you know, and it was cool because I was able to teach, you know, I was able to do what I love and make a lot of money doing it. So I was very satisfied and I was happy with life, you know.
Yeah.
The only problem was disc golf was early in the morning.
Yeah.
And I had a hard time doing that. But yeah, the 90s were great. We were making money. The economy was good. I was able to travel a lot. You know,
Yeah. All my buddies I started playing disc golf with all played guitar. And it would always be the battle because they were all in bands. I'd go see it. Go see him and stuff. And it'd always be like, I would go play disc golf and they're like, well, we got to practice. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to go. And then like be at the course all fucking day and then come back and they're like playing and whatever. And at night I was like odd man out because they're like all playing. Like everybody would come over and they'd all play together and everything. And I'm like hanging out like, oh, this is cool. And then like when they would randomly come out, I had played like 60 rounds since the last time they had played. And then I was like, all right, cool, let's play. And then
it's different for me. None of my friends played disc golf.
Yeah.
I was a fag.
Yeah.
You're going to play for disc golf, frisbee golf. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, sorry. I mean, that's what I want to do, man. So all my friends, they made fun of me.
Yeah.
I mean, I played in some like seriously like hardcore metal bands
Yeah.
too.
And you're like, I go throw frisbees on the weekends. And they're like, what?
Play frisbees. In a band called Voice of Anger, and we're going to cancel because
disc golf
tournament. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, it's
great.
kind of opposite for me. I know some guys that play, you know, guitar, but it is kind of cool though. Now I'll be playing golf and have some dude walk up to me, "Hey Jeff, remember me?" Nope.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you taught me guitar lessons when I was in 5th grade.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you were a little kid. Now you're taller than me with a beard. You know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't recognize you. You know, but I've been teaching for so long that
you have a
these
beard
kids
when
are
you're
grown
5.
now.
Yeah.
So I do see some of them on the course now, which is very cool.
I remember coming home from Coldbrook. I was stoned as fuck driving home and walked in my buddy's house and he's like, I followed guitarists and like I was like a huge music guy. I've always had like a crazy stereo. Like music's been a huge part of my life and like I just never played music, but I like whatever. So that's why I was interested in your guitar guys. But I came in, they're like, you got to see this fucking video. And I was like, what is it? And they're like, there's this guy, Stanley Jordan, and he plays this master
baby.
class. He's like, you've got to see this. And I remember I was like, baked. And I was like, yeah, dude, I'm in. Like, let's watch it. And he puts this video on, and this
That's
guy starts
ridiculous.
playing. And I was sitting there, and I was like,
Is that this guy?
yeah, he's got like
he
2
plays,
guitars. And I was like sitting there, and I was like,
ridiculous.
wait, what the fuck's going on? And everyone in the crowd is like a Russian defector. Like none of them can talk, and they're all like robots. They're like, when you're doing that with your like, it's just like so awkward. And I'm like, dude, this guy's fucking amazing, and they couldn't fill the room with better
great.
people than this.
What was his name?
Stanley Jordan. He's a black
Okay.
dude.
Yeah.
So he had taught himself how to play piano.
Okay.
Right. So with piano, you're playing like your rhythm side on one hand, and then you're playing, the like solo side on the other hand. So when he played guitars from Van Halen, he had figured like how you can tap.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
don't have to strum.
Yeah.
So he had a rig made that would hold the guitar without touching the strings, and he's literally just playing two guitars and playing
Like
the
a
two
piano.
parts.
Like a piano.
Like a piano.
That's
Like he
crazy.
played Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, and it's
like that
fucking
one of his
insane.
big-
Really?
Yeah,
Oh
and-
my god. I know what I'm doing
Playing
later.
it like this, and it's just amazing.
So they interview him, and they're like, well, how do you do the two? And he goes, my left hand, I'm playing geometrically, and my right hand, I'm playing like along like the solo that I think. So like the rhythm that I'm keeping with this hand, all I'm thinking with this hand is the geometric shape of my fingers and where they're hitting on the strings. And this hand here, I'm actually like playing out what I'm playing. So this is like just straight autopilot, like
Yeah.
So
reptile brain.
That's like 80s and 90s, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, like
this guy's
90s.
old
Yeah.
school.
Yeah,
Okay.
So there's this guy named Andy Mckee.
I never heard of him.
Check him out.
Yeah,
Andy
So,
Mckee.
Now there's other guys like him too that play like Stanley Jordan.
yeah,
But this guy's like, he's beating on his guitar, playing drums, and doing all this stuff.
yeah.
So that's like a whole new genre that Stanley
Jordan
Jordan
started.
has started. Yeah. Now it's a little different. Like I said, they play big old acoustic guitar, so when they hit it, it pops.
Right.
So he's like, as he's playing, he's like playing the drums on his and hitting it with his thumbs and playing. It's great, man. So there's all kinds of guys like that now
Yeah.
that can easily be discovered with YouTube videos.
Yeah.
You know?
I saw a guy on bass who I'm sure everybody knows. I went to go see Bella Fleck and the Flecktones. They got Victor Wooten on bass. And I remember we were in Kalamazoo, I think at like the State Theater or whatever it is in Kalamazoo. And I didn't know who Bella Fleck was. My buddy's like, dude, because I love bass. I used to dance a lot and shit. And I was like, he's like, dude, you're going to love this bass. He's the best bassist in the world. Like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, cool. I don't know what the best bassist in the world would be. Everybody was like a Les Claypool guy. And I was like, that's cool, but like, it's,
Yeah.
whatever. So we went to go see Bella Fleck and the Flecktones. And then like they had Future Man, like playing this like wood block that he would sit on, and that like got all these different tones. He's playing like the rhythm on this like thing, and then Victor Wooten comes out and like jams with him, and then Future Man leaves, and then Victor Wooten did like a 15 to 20 minute set just by himself in the middle of the concert. And I remember just standing there like, what the fuck is going on? He's playing this like crazy solo, like all in harmonics, and then like also like slapping this rhythm in the background while he's just like flying around on this thing.
When was this?
Late 90s.
Late 90s.
Yep. So I think he toured with Dave Matthews Band like the next year. And so when
Oh my God, that's so long ago.
yeah, it's like forever ago. It was like late 90s, 97. We weren't in the dorm, so it'd be like 97, 98. But I remember seeing Victor Wooten, and then I just saw a video pop up on YouTube where all these people were freaking the fuck out, and it was like Victor Wooten still. Like, they're like, best bassist ever, yada yada. It's Victor Wooten, he's still up there just fucking killing it. And I'm like, dude, that guy's been slaying it for 20
Yeah, it's
something
cool.
years.
That's another one with the internet too, because I spent many years looking for Wes Montgomery videos.
Yeah.
Because he's famous for not using a pick. He just does everything with his thumb. Plays guitar
Yeah.
with his thumb, no pick. And the reason he did that is because he had a bunch of kids, and his wife would always bitch at him for playing too loud. So he'd learn how to play real quiet with his thumb.
Really?
Right? Yeah. So
You're
I'm
nagging.
like,
You're
I wanna
nagging.
He's
watch-
amazing, and
Yeah.
she's like, "Can you just shut
Will
up?
you
Like,
stop?"
what's
Yeah.
going on? You
So, I've looked for years, and I ended up getting a bunch of videos of him playing, but now it's all online. You can
Yeah.
watch it all online. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I was a gigantic, I still am a gigantic Frank Zappa fan.
Oh my
And
God.
I remember like when I saw Baby Snakes, it like melted my brain because I could see, dude, I don't know how long I had listened. Like I had this really crazy vinyl collection. I had like all these like live shows, Beat the Boots. He had like box sets of live shows on vinyl. Like I had all this shit, and I had listened to like, I don't know how much Zappa for how many years. And then I was at this party drunk, and this dude had Baby Snakes, and I was talking about Zappa. He's like, have you ever seen Baby Snakes? And I was like, no, what's that? He's like, it's a concert from Halloween in '77. And I was like, dude, if I could just see him play, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, watch this video. And then I was watching them play, and I was like, holy fuck, dude. Like, it's just
he was before his
insanity.
time.
Oh, he's
That
a
guy-
genius.
he was tapping before Eddie Van Halen.
Oh,
did
yeah.
it. He was on some show. He's playing Black Napkins, I think.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Tapping.
Yeah.
Like back way before Van Halen came out.
So there's a
He was so innovative, that guy.
So there's like Joe's Garage, right? It's like a
Mm-hmm.
3 LP set, whatever, and it's a musical that he wrote about the dangers of getting into music, and it like parodies like Scientology, overreaching government, like all this crazy
Nice.
shit. It's amazing. But as you go through the song, he literally plays like every style of music better than the people that do that music. Like he's got like a heavy metal song on there that's fucking unbelievable. Like every genre of music, like each song is like a different style of music. And at the end, it's Watermelon and Easter Hay. And it's like one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. It's just guitar. And he did an album when he died. They put together, it's FZ Plays FZ, and it's like it folds up. The CD does, and it has like a fur mustache, like it has this little goatee mustache on the cover, and it's like furry. It's like 6 tracks, and it's 3 tracks that he did early, and then the final 3 like versions of it that he had come up with. And Black Napkins on that is fucking unbelievable. It's like it's crazy.
You're talking about a musical genius that. He wrote the line from of insanity and genius.
Yeah.
Because some of the shit that he's got is just crazy.
Yeah.
But you can't deny the musicianship on those. His musicians are just.
Yeah, like the best band in the
Steve
world.
Vai came
Yeah,
from.
I know.
Steve Vai was his little Italian virtuoso. He was like 14 years old.
So
Steve Vai, the best guitar player on the planet, if there is such a thing.
do you remember G3?
Yeah.
When they had G3,
Satriani and
Vai, and then I forget the third dude's name.
Eric.
That dude was
Johnson.
awesome too.
Eric Johnson.
Yeah, Eric Johnson. He was like more of a jazz guitarist
Yeah,
guy.
he's not as good as those two, but very good still.
But I remember seeing an interview, and they were talking to Steve Vai, and they're like, "Who's the best guitarist ever?" And he's like, "Frank Zappa." He's like, hands down. He goes, "I would sit and work out 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 and figure out this solo, and then play it for him and be like, dude, check this out." And I'd just like tear it up, and he would watch me play it, and then like play it back to me better than I just played it, just by watching me play it. And he'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's pretty fucking sweet. Have you ever tried this?" And he's like, then I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
Well, Steve,
God.
Steve Vai, if there is a such thing as a best player, it's him.
Yeah.
You don't
That's
get
wild.
better than that.
Yeah.
You don't get better playing than Steve Vai.
I can't think of the song, but my buddy, my one friend was really good at guitar. He's a huge Zappa fan. All my friends were Zappa fans, but he was a big Steve Vai fan too. And I don't know what song it is that Steve Vai
For
plays.
the love of God.
I don't know. It's all guitar. It's just a guitar solo.
It's probably. I've had people ask me to teach them that song. I tell them no.
Yeah. Dude, I remember just
I
sitting
can't
there.
play that.
Why?
No.
Oh,
It comes
it's
in.
too hard.
There's like there's
Stupid. Yeah.
dude. I've listened to that song so many times, and I can remember like just playing like air guitar, like going along to it, just being like fucking blown out at my buddy's house, and like just getting such a rush because it's just so fucking ridiculous. And it starts like it keeps going like up and up and up and up, and you're just like, whoa, like, yeah, that's Steve Vai.
He's one of my favorite players. Just I like listening to the guys that are that good who don't make mistakes. Like he's hard to find a mistake when he's playing live. It's like he don't miss notes.
Yeah.
Him and Joe Satriani is like that.
Yeah.
Another guy was the blues player that got killed in the helicopter. Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah.
He don't make mistakes. Like it's like how do you get that damn good where you just there's a video of him busting a string.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he just
Breaks
plays.
the string.
Yeah.
Like if you were just listening to it, you wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
So he changes this guitar with his roadie, as he's playing and doesn't even miss a fucking note.
So my friend, when I was
That's wild.
ridiculous.
when I was in
That's
high school, my buddy was like a huge Stevie Ray Vaughan fan, and I was like, I don't know, yada yada. And then it was like 5 or 6 years later that I'd like listened to all these guitarists and stuff, and then somebody was playing something, and I was like, who's that? And they were like, who's that? And I was like, yeah, who the? And they're like, that's Stevie Ray Vaughan. And I was like, oh, I had a friend that's a really big fan of his, and he's like, yeah, there's a lot of people that are really big fans of his.
As far as like blues, I mean, I played a lot of blues players.
Yeah.
He is very good.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't do a whole lot of stuff, but just as far as like playing the guitar, like he's a lot like Eddie Van Halen in that regard, because Eddie doesn't do a whole lot of different stuff either. It's just his playing is just so good that he doesn't need to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Stevie Ray Vaughan's a lot like him. His tone is so good, and the licks that he does are just so good that he doesn't need to do much more than what he does. It just
I watched a thing on
Fun to
Stevie
listen
Ray
to.
Vaughan, and it's such an amazing, it's a great story. It's terrible, tragic ending, but it's a great story. So he used to wake up and put Coke into a glass with scotch and then drink it to like get out of bed.
oh my god.
Because like
how we do pre-workout?
Like
Did he
cocaine?
slam it?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because he would just do
Yeah.
like he had like over an 8 ball a day habit of like doing Coke, and then he would just drink like crazy.
Coke and scotch.
Yeah, Coke and scotch.
Wow.
That
Yeah,
was it.
I thought Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
like
no.
you just
No,
oh
cocaine.
my god.
So he died young.
He died
Or
pretty
no,
young.
no,
Yeah,
hang
he wasn't
on.
super
He was in
young.
his 30s.
Right. So he got sober. So he had gotten to the point to get out of bed. He put like a line into a glass, put scotch in it, drank it to like get up and get going. Then would like do some lines. If you ever see where they play Radio City, and he had like the purple velvet tuxedo, he got the whole band like velvet tuxedos because they were gonna play Radio City.
They always look like that.
Dude, he's so fucking coked out of his mind. He was like eating his face. And he's like just fucking going, dude. And he would like his feet, he would kind of like move as he's playing. It looks like he's like jogging in place, and he's just like pouring sweat. And then he went to the doctor the one day. He had like puked up blood. They went to the doctor, and he's like, "You have no lining left in your stomach. Like, you're fucked, whatever." So he got sober, like on the spot, and then after that,
He cold turkeyed it.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if he
Or-
I don't know if he went to AA. I don't think he went to like a rehab center.
Okay.
He obviously had to get medical intervention because he was like so hard into alcohol. But then after that, he would go to his concerts and actually like go out in the crowd beforehand and talk to people about like sobriety and like if you were there and you're like, dude, I'm struggling with this. Like he would go out like meet and greet before the concerts and talk to people and like.
That's hard for a celebrity like him to do. You get
Dude.
mobbed, man.
And then he died in a helicopter crash. Like got sober. I think he'd been sober for 3.5 years and then got in a helicopter crash and died.
Wow.
But just an epic story. So his brother was in the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, well, they both got famous together, but he was just a superstar,
Yeah.
and he just went off on his own.
His brother was
Because they were
Jimmy
in
Vaughn.
double trouble.
Yeah.
They were in double trouble.
Well, his brother was what? Jimmy Vaughn in the Thunderbirds,
Yeah.
I think. And then Stevie was playing like
Is that
at his
little brother?
At, yeah, his little
Yeah.
brother. And then they were like Jimmy was like, what the fuck is
Yeah,
going
no,
on?
Stevie
he
got
was
good.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
amazing at like 14 or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. Yeah. He's an interesting dude. Yeah, the live videos you can find of him like in a bar playing, like before he was
That's
huge.
great,
It's
yeah.
nuts. It's nuts.
It's so great with the internet. Like I said,
Yeah.
it makes us sound old, but when the
Yeah.
internet came out,
Yeah.
we were able to see all this great stuff. You remember when the classic sports, the
Sport, yes.
the channel came out, the classic sports, and the commercial they had was so great. It's like, you remember all those stories? You remember all those great? It's like they're all true.
Yeah.
And they'd show like these classic, games.
That's-
With Barry Sanders and
Yeah.
Wayne Gretzky and stuff.
That's one of the
Really?
ways I got into World's Strongest Man.
Really?
Yeah, because you go on classic sports, they would have like 1984 World's Strongest Man, and Bill
Oh my God.
Kazmar's there, like fucking roided out of his mind. It's like, "Ah!" Dude, they would get in fights at World's Strongest Man, like back in the day.
Really?
They would,
Like-
yeah, like literally like throw down, like people would have to jump in and stuff because they're all
How
just
many
like,
people would have to jump in?
Yeah.
Like
the other guys.
Yeah. Oh my
all
god.
the trainers, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna
Oh
take
my
a break
God.
for a second.
Pee break.
So
We're back.
So we just had a bathroom break. I have a really funny bathroom story.
Perfect. Like just from right now.
From this week, from
Okay.
2 days ago. So I do real estate, right? Obviously, and
Nice.
So I have an out-of-state client that's looking to move here, and she's going to lease a house. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go look at this house. I'll take videos of it, whatever, and then send it to you and see whatever. So I'm at my office getting ready to leave, and I had to take a shit, and I was like, I'm not going to do it because my office isn't that big. There was someone already in the bathroom. I was like, I don't want to do it with someone else in the bathroom, so I'm just going to go. And I leave, and I was like, I'll go at the house. So I leave. I drive to the house. The house is at basically 10 Mile in Van Dyke. So I get there, pull up, check it all out, whatever. I was like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I go in. They're remodeling the shower. So they had the stem cartridge out of the shower. And I was like, haha, that job sucks because I just did a bathroom. I was like, that sucks. Sit down, take a dump, do the courtesy flush real quick, sit in there, finish up, whatever. Go to flush, they turn the water off. And I was like, they know it's me because I have to use my phone to like get into the house, you know? So I was
Yikes.
like, awkward. So I'm like, this guy's going to have to come back, finish this terrible job in a bathroom that like the toilet's
turd
messed
in it.
up. So I was like, all right. I was like, well, whatever. So I took the video, sent it to my client as I'm driving home. She's like, yeah, we'll take the house. So I contact the client. She's like, the client's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. As long as everything works out, you guys will get the house. I talked to him the next day, which was yesterday. And he's like, yeah, you guys got the house. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I'll have him e-sign, and then I can bring the check over and I'll pick up the keys from you. And he's like, oh, the landlord wants them to come and sign. And so we'll all like meet up and do it together. And I was like,
no.
awkward.
Not at the house.
I was like, be like, it was me. It was
Oh
me.
my
I did it.
God.
I shit in your toilet. Which was pretty funny.
It's gotta
That's
happen.
amazing.
Fine.
Yeah, I've never
Yeah.
gone to the bathroom in a house before, and I was like, "There's no one here. My client's not." Because it'd be weird if I was there with a client, and then I was like, "Hold on a minute."
Yeah.
So I was like, the one time I have the thing where like I'm at a house and I have no client there, I was like, "Oh, this will be good." I'm like
Oh
sitting there
my
watching
God.
TikTok, relaxing, and then I go to flush, and I was like,
Dude.
"No, like no, no."
That scene from Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, there's nothing you could do.
Oh my god. Dude, that's terrible.
Yep. So, out of the people that when you started out, you had all the like world champs, all the stuff you were playing with, all those guys, which turned out to be like lifetime ballers, Hall of Famers, all that stuff. Over the last like 10, 12 years, out of the people that you've played with, who would you say that when you played with them early on, you were like, they're going to be really good?
Jared Roan, Brian Vagey,
Mm-hmm.
Those two.
Ziggy. Ziggy was real young.
Yeah.
Ziggy was 15 when he started beating us.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit older, but
Yeah. Yeah, I remember first hearing about him, and it was like, yeah, he just comes out when he wants money, like firefighters or whatever. And it was like, yeah, I'll shoot 12 down, like no problem. And like then 12 down, I was like, dude, what? That's the thing, like here.
Yeah.
And then you like throw a putter on hole one. I know I told you about this, and it's like he threw like I'm pretty sure it was one of his red APXs at the time or something. He like parked hole one, and I was like, oh. Okay, like I'll
like
just
that. Okay.
yeah. I was like, dude, I'm getting there with whatever. I feel pretty good. And then it's like, dude, this guy like, but it was also like, okay, so like it's doable.
Yeah.
Like I just got to figure out how to
Yeah.
how to
I
do
just
it.
got to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Jared Roan wanted to be my partner. We were at the one on Airport Road in Waterford,
Baycourt.
Park.
Yeah.
So Jared's like, man, I hope I could be your partner one day.
Yeah.
I'm like, he was already getting good too, you know, and it didn't take him long. He went from like AM3 to Super Pro in like 2 years, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You were like real good friends with him at that time.
Yeah. Yeah. I talked to him
He
not too long
went
ago.
Straight up.
Yep.
He was so smooth.
He ended up beating Paul Macbeth at a couple big tournaments,
Yeah.
Yep.
and it was like Jared Roan. Like, that's my friend's name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, wait,
This guy's got his name.
Probably
I know that
Jared.
guy.
Yeah.
Dude, did you just win?
Yeah.
Because this is
like,
you.
he literally he went and almost won the memorial.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He led the whole tournament, and then he ended up beating Paul in some tournament in Florida. It's like, wow, dude, you really are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a really funny video. It's I think it's St. Jude. It's
Barsby,
who's
Roan.
obviously on mushrooms. There's fucking Coling, who plays like shit.
Yeah.
Paul and Roan, and they all like. If you ever want to feel good about your game,
Yeah.
it's great to watch because they
It's
all play.
amazing.
They all play like shit.
Really?
It's what, like 2014?
Yeah,
St. Jude's, I think.
2014, 2015, something like that.
Yeah, everybody's fucking everywhere.
Everywhere.
Dude, it is like, what is
I don't
happening right
remember.
now?
Somebody-
Is that the temporary course in California?
It's on a golf course.
Yeah. It's
It's
like
in
wide
California.
open. It's
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It was like their first one, their first big St. Jude event.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. This woman's like walking
Amazing.
through and
I don't
fucking
remember them playing bad.
Coling almost hits her, and then he goes, "I'm sorry, I suck at this." I'm like, fucking Jared. Like Jared's first throw doesn't go perfect. It's a good drive. None of them have great drives on the first hole. His first drive, he gets pissed at that, and then the entire time he is just like super salty, super pissed, like just like really. And then fucking Barsby at one point goes to throw a shot this way, and it literally goes that way. He goes to throw it, and like it's caught in his hand, or something, goes, and he goes, whoa.
Oh my
Like
God.
fucking Paul misses like at least 6 putts inside of 20 feet. Like it's amazing. It's one of the best disc golf videos of all time. It's unbelievable. Jared's just so salty. Yeah, and I remember him playing at Memorial.
I
Jared's
don't remember him ever getting really mad.
he gets
Maybe quiet.
he gets salty. You could see
I don't
how
remember
salty
any-
he
Yeah,
was.
there's times I would play with him. We used to hang out a lot, and if he doesn't get mad in disc golf, he gets mad at pool because I beat him. We used to go to Oscars out by Seymour in Oxford or whatever,
Okay.
and it's something else now. It used to be free pool. You just buy drinks and whatever, and we'd play a lot. There was one time specifically we went out there, and he just like, we're at a good mood, and then at some point I'm still in this good mood, and Jared's just fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And then it was like, dude, I'm hitting like stupid shots. Like he was really good at pool. He brought me up to his level. And then there was times where I'm like, I'm just going for shit, and it's just working. Like I'm just lucking my way through some shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, I just don't fucking understand. Like you just do some bullshit and
Yeah.
whatever. I'm just laughing. Like I don't know what to do. Sorry. I don't
Yeah.
know.
The first
It was a lot of fun.
the first person I thought I saw besides Feldberg, whatever, but like that doesn't really count. The first person when I came back to Michigan I saw throw really far was Mike Henry, and he just bombed the shit out of something, and I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was a freak.
But the first person I saw that was like a really good disc golfer was Jared. And I remember it was on Firefighters, and he was on 18 throwing shots to the basket, and he's throwing wizards to the basket on 18. And I remember walking over because I was cutting through to like throw for aces on like, or like to work on my form on like 13, 14, like back there. And I remember like watching him throw, and it was so smooth, and I was like, holy shit. And then I watched this shot just like drift over right by the basket, and it landed. And as it landed, I was like, that's a putter. And I was just like, what the fuck? I think I bought the putter from him. I bought like a Evolution Wizard. I was like, dude. And then I was asking him about Snap, and he was just like, you're retarded.
We were at a tournament. We were playing Addison Oaks.
Yeah.
And he was killing it, you know. And the first round, he shot some stupid score, winning by 100 strokes. So the second round, there's this backup, and we're sitting there. Here comes Jared's group lead card. I'm like, so, how's it going, Jared? He's like, I'm just shredding, Jeff. He ended up shooting like a 13 or a 15 or something crazy.
I think I remember these rounds because I think he had back-to-back rounds
It was-
that were just nasty.
It was like
And
13 and a 15.
I think it was 13 and 12. Either way,
Yeah,
it was
it was-
double digits both times, and it
Yeah.
was nonsense. And I think we carpooled together, and it was just
Even
like,
he was like,
yeah,
Yeah.
doing one of these, like, I'm just shredding, dude.
I'm just fucking shredding. Yeah.
It's fun to watch because, you know, that's the kind of course you can shred. If
Yeah.
you're on,
Yeah.
you can
yeah.
shred.
And then you were like, I'm not talking to you anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty much.
Yeah.
I
You
won't
just
talk to you for
didn't
the
even
rest
say
of the
anything. You just walked away.
Yeah.
Yeah. That course I've had, like first time I shot 1,000 rated was on that course. And then I've had other rounds on that course where like, you just can't hit shit. It's kind of overgrown. You're a little off your mark. And then like, you know, it's deuce or die. You got to shoot 7 down, 8 down, 9 down to do anything. And you're like, I'm like 2 over after 5. And then I'm like, fuck this shit. And then everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That course is definitely like that.
Yep.
Very quirky.
Yeah.
I played many rounds there where I played the exact same, and scored way different.
Yep.
Because I hit the tree that you can't see, and it kicked me out of bounds the second round. First round, I missed it and parked it.
Yep.
You know, that's one of them kind of courses too, where you can. I seen Damon Pugh do it too. Damon's very consistent,
Yeah.
almost the same everything. He'll shoot 11 and go and shoot a 3. It's doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Pew. So
Actually, the film that he recorded us doing it once. He recorded the second round at Addison Oaks.
Yeah.
And
The
Damon
broken
shot
open.
fire, and the second round shot a 3 or something.
Yeah. It was something. It was
kept hitting
It was
trees.
probably the equivalent of what I watched last Friday, where it's like you get all these people that can play really well at Stony, and then, well, you had players playing some disc golf and stuff.
yeah,
Like,
stuff was going
Oh,
on.
yeah.
There was
it
a
was some wild-
51 and a
Yeah.
52.
Oh yeah,
Pretty good.
But like
half of us played good.
yeah, but I'm saying like for what's capable, it was like what's going on here.
You guys okay?
Yeah.
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 Something
I
I,
think
should know
Mikey
about.
Mikey was just a little too excited. That's all.
Yeah.
He wanted that bad.
Yeah.
I think I knocked him out of the playoffs last year.
Did you?
I think that
Yeah.
might have been 2 years ago, but he's talking
McGinnis?
shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's talking shit. He's gonna.
Yeah.
He's winning. He's.
I
something.
love when he talks shit to
Yeah.
Atkins. Oh,
To
it's,
oh.
oh my god.
God.
Them going back and forth is so goddamn funny.
He is one of my favorite people in disc golf.
Yes.
Last year at the tournament, when we did the tournament, he got knocked out. And dude, he was in his car and out of that parking lot in about 90 seconds. He was so pissed. He was so pissed.
He's still a young pro, right? He's only
Yeah.
a couple years in, right?
Yep.
yeah.
So
Yep.
that's just the way it works, man. I mean, I love it when people they look at me like, "Oh my god, I can't play against you." You guys have no idea.
Yeah.
I ain't even good.
Yeah.
I ain't even freaking good, dude.
Yeah.
You guys worried about
You should
me?
have joined me back in the day.
Yeah. You're lucky you got me because you can beat me.
That's
Yeah.
funny you brought up Pete Weingard. The first time I ever played, I think it was the first time I ever played first time I ever played a tournament. I didn't have a PDGA number, like a singles tournament. So I went to States because I was like, I'm going to play States. So I drove up to Ludington. I get there. First person I saw was Mark Ellis. I knew him from a video, like the Throw Far video or whatever it is, that fucking toboggan.
Yeah.
I was like, I know that dude. And I was like asking about last chance qualifier. He's like, I was like, can I get in to play last chance qualifier? He's like, yeah, if you got $10, they'll let you play. I was like, okay, cool. So I played like a round that day with some locals or whatever. And then the next day I played last chance qualifier. You had to finish in the top 2. I finished 3rd. So those 2 people signed up for AM1. So I could have signed up for AM2 or Open. And I was like, I'm not playing AM2. Like even at that point, I was like, I'm not fucking playing AM2. So I played Open, and for is like I think he played Beast and then Goliath and then Leviathan. I think were the 3 courses.
Okay.
And
Beauty.
No.
No beauty. At
No
all.
beauty.
Okay.
No beauty.
Okay.
It was just Beast, and then you played it backwards.
Oh, that's right. I never played Leviathan. Is that a different place?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like it's like a mile
up
away.
the road.
I've never played that course.
It's awesome.
I've
yeah,
heard.
yeah,
I heard
It
It's
is
awesome.
now. Jared and I went out one year, and we practiced for states or whatever. And then Leviathan was there, like, dude, fuck it, like we'll just go check out a course. We weren't playing it, but we wanted to play something new. We were in the area. We left after I think 5 holes. We got touched by the course a lot.
Oh,
We
yeah.
were just like,
I
dude,
want to
we
play
were
that course. I've never been there.
So
Yeah.
Henry shot what, like a 13 down on that course.
remember that.
enough,
Yeah.
enough to
Yeah.
And it
burn
was-
his putters.
And it was supposed to be like the highest rated. Like it was supposed to be like an 1100 rated round. And I
Yeah.
remember
It was
like
like 1080.
yeah, it was
or
like under
something.
11, and everybody was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
But I went out there in the first round. I played with Pew. I don't know if it was. Yeah, I think it was the first round I played with Pew. I didn't know any of these fucking people. All I had done was like Monday night leagues at Firefighters. I played with Pew, and then I played with Weingard. Oh no, we played Flip. That's right. We played Goliath, Flip, and Leviathan. So the first round I played with Weingards and Pew. And I remember
They
like
probably annihilated Flip City too.
Pew. Well, I didn't play with them second round. I played with them first round.
Yeah.
But I remember like watching Pew just hit all these putts. And I didn't know like Pew's like a great putter, and I was just like, man, to be a pro, like I really got to step up my putting. And then like I remember watching Weingart just miss all these putts, and he was like rage-tastic. It got super windy in the back
He's
corner.
a good putter. Pete's good.
Yeah, but he was not that
Not that
day.
day.
And then
Oh
Pew
my
was
God.
hitting everything, and I was just like, dude, I was dying. And I was just telling him, I was like, yeah, this is the first tournament I ever played. And they were like, this? And I was like, yeah. They're like, oh, you're not doing that bad. I was like, we'll see, see how it goes. And then I went to Flip and just fucking shit the bed for sure. But I remember seeing Weingart just sitting there like before Flip, like drinking a beer in the morning, like sitting there like,
Oh
or no,
my
it's the
God.
afternoon because it was the second round. It was like the afternoon he's sitting like outside of there. And he's like, yeah. And then I remember because he kept calling himself by his full name when we played. Pete Weingart.
Really?
Yeah, he's like classic Pete Weingard. He's
Oh
like,
my God.
out here, and then he said something. Someone like
Great player.
someone did something, and then he like called them out. They weren't even on our card. They were like when you got back to that corner, someone threw the shot from the corner to where there's like the OB where the drive is or whatever, and then we're playing the other hole, and that guy went out, and then so like as we're walking by, he's like, "That's OB," and the guy's like, "I don't think it is," and he's like, "No, it's definitely OB," and then that guy like kind of got shitty with him. He's like, "Pete Weingart's making friends everywhere he goes," and I remember just
Oh my
fucking dying. I was like, "Dude,
Oh
who
my
the fuck
God.
is this guy?" It was so
I've
funny.
never seen him get.
Dude, that's
he's-
hilarious.
I've never seen him in anything like that with Pete.
Yeah.
He's always super cool.
Well, he was cool, but he was just getting like really frustrated, and then he was just like talking to himself. Like it was like we talked about before, like when Wheezy would play bad, how he just like talk shit about himself while he's playing. Like he wasn't like like crazy, but it was just like
I've never seen Pete play bad. Probably.
yeah.
He's always solid when I play with him.
That's hilarious.
he
I remember
he didn't
meeting
do well.
Pew. I saw Pew for the first time at Toboggan,
Yeah.
and I was playing with Raven.
Yeah.
And we were on hole 6 back when the tee pad was back into the left, so you had like a shorter shot, but it was more like you have to hook to get in there. Whatever. We're there. Damon wants to play through. Throws his second shot. We're up on like the landing zone. He lands like a little short, and it's like that's gonna be a whatever. And he's like, dude, it's Pew. That's in. Like I was like, really? He's like, yeah, he's a really good putter. You'll see. And Pew walks up, hey guys, blah blah blah, with the crazy hair and shit. And sure enough, he just walks. He threw a second first run orange buzz, or maybe it was a first run because that's like his shit or whatever. And I think he was putting with magnets or something at the time. That's what he put it with for forever until
Probably that's what
Fierce
everyone-
is now.
That's what everybody put it with.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then sure enough, he just same routine as like I saw last Wednesday, but just boom right in. Okay.
He's got the same
Cool.
putt as he had
yeah,
in the 90s.
yeah.
Exactly.
Same. Yeah.
I remember we got to hole 11. I threw a good drive with a crate. Everyone else was throwing like
At
mids.
Toboggan.
No, at whatever it was for states when
Okay.
I played with Pew, and I was like 13 feet away from the basket, and it was windier than I'd ever thrown a frisbee in before, and I did not understand like how do I putt. Like I was literally like baffled. I was like, how am I going to putt in this? And I remember like I go to putt and I putt, and it just like shoved it down, and I airballed the putt from like 12 feet,
Yikes.
and then Pew was parked, so he taps it in, and then the next hole we throw, and now I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? And I remember like Pew's like 25 out in the wind, boom, 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 just like, and I was just like, I don't belong here. This
You know
was a
what's
huge
funny is
mistake.
when I won states, they were the original baskets.
Oh no.
You guys might not even know.
Mock OGs.
Nope, they were like
Oh,
homemade
before
or
mock.
something.
Ma-
they didn't ching when you made a putt. It went
no.
plop.
Were they
It was
even
like-
chains? Was
they were
it just
yellow. They were yellow, painted yellow, like homemade baskets.
Oh God.
I don't know who made them, but they
Yeah.
were a little smaller than like a chain star.
Yeah.
Definitely. There was no chain star back then, I think. So this was like 2001, 2002, right when chain stars came out, probably.
Yeah.
So they were their own little thing. They're a little smaller. So like, not sure how, because I was not a good putter, but I putted great on them damn things. And I remember the sound they made. They didn't ching. It was like a boop. Yeah.
They made it like
was
hangers.
paint. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm kind of interested in what kind of, like, where those baskets came from.
Yeah.
And what do they have now at Ludington?
I don't know. I haven't been out there in a few years.
I don't know.
I played pro out there the 1 year, and we only played 2 rounds. I finished like 14th.
But they were like probably chain stars or
something.
they were definitely. I don't think they wouldn't put Mach 3s out.
No.
They'd probably chain stars.
Yeah.
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 I think the last time I was there was when.
Oh no, it was 3 rounds. Yeah, it was 3 rounds.
People who normally played like AM2 or something, like they got full so fast that they were already out there from the tournament before, where they just sign up for open. It was either like you go down one, which most of them couldn't, and it's either go home or sign up for open.
Yeah.
That was whatever year that was. I think it was like one of the last years I was there. And that
That's
was
what
like
I
a
did.
minute, Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never played pro
Yeah.
skates. I went twice.
Yeah.
The one was when I first got into it. I got like whatever. I didn't cash, and then the second year I won, and I was so pissed off at the payout. I vowed never to go back again.
Yeah.
I never did.
Yeah, I went every year for a while, and then the last year I went and played pro, and then they moved it. And once they moved it, I just didn't go because I was like,
I went last year. That was the
Yeah.
first time I went.
yeah, I didn't go because I was like, I don't want to go. I learned after a while because I'd go out to States, and I'm like, I do pretty well. And when I get to States, I would over prepare because I'd get there Wednesday and then just play nonstop Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like play like all the rounds, then show up on Saturday morning to start the tournament exhausted and beat to shit. And then I realized like a lot of these people I'm playing against in AM, they just play these courses all the time because I watch their form, I see what they're doing, I watch other disc flies, and I'm like, how in the fuck is this guy beating me? And then I'd ask him, be like, oh, what are you gonna throw on this hole? And he's like, I throw my blue disc at that tree as hard as I can, and it ends up by the basket. And I'm like, fuck you, dude. This is so stupid. I'm like, why the fuck am I? And I remember like,
I hope that's the actual interaction is you fuck you and then you just walk
no,
away.
the guy's name was Tom. He had finished like 3rd the year before, and he told us that he had finished 3rd the year before. I'm playing with him at Whiskey, and I was just like, how did this guy finish 3rd? So then I was like, I didn't want to be rude, so I just asked him. I'm like, what are you gonna throw on this next hole? So since you play this, like, you know, I've played it a few times, but like, what's the shot here? And he was literally like, I throw my blue disc just to the left of that tree as hard as I can. It just hooks up and ends up by the basket. And I was like, this is fucked.
So you're
Like,
local.
I don't know why I'm here. I was like, this is dumb. And then, yeah, I played it pro. And then after that, I just, once they moved pro, I didn't go. And I was just like, I'd already kind of been like, eh. And when they moved it, I was like, I don't have any time to get out there to practice the courses.
States has its own
Culture.
aura. Yeah, there's definitely a party atmosphere along with it, and you know, there's definitely titles involved with it. It'd be cool to be called the state champ, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Jared did it one year.
did he really? That's cool.
Yeah.
I remember going out there and I saw Jared at States. I've already told you this story. So I get out there. I'm in the morning. It's Saturday morning. I get out there and I was early because at that point I was already old. So I'm ready, like trying to loosen up, get everything going, whatever. By the time I got to the park, Jared was ready in a full sweat, throwing drives and then like running them down, getting a stack together, throwing drives like on the hill by Beast in that field, just throwing back and forth. And like before the tournament started, he's like full sweat, ready to go. And I was like, I'm not warming up the right way because I'm out there like,
Yeah.
I'm ready. Let's go, guys. And I was like, this
Jared was
motherfucker's
an
serious.
athlete.
Yeah.
He is an athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
It's hilarious.
what got me, so he could drive real far, but that wasn't what made him so good.
Yeah.
It was his putts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You
and
know.
the level of commitment to his jump shot Jordan flying saucer man putts. There's one I think is still his disc golf scene profile picture. He's in like full Superman, like you can barely see his shoes because his body's covering it. Like black attire, red hat, hair everywhere, just launching this putt. It's amazing.
Yep.
It's one of the best photos of him I think like ever. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
That's I tell people that too. You know, golf is putting.
Yeah.
Golf is putting. Regular golf, disc golf, putt golf.
Yep. It's all
That's
putting.
the name of the game.
Yeah.
It's putting. I don't care how good you drive. I outdrive Scott Martin every fucking hole.
Yeah.
And he beat me by 15 strokes
Yeah.
every hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he makes all his putts, so
Yeah.
it's hard to beat that. He can throw. I mean, he throws 350, 400, no problem. But we're all out driving him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Didn't matter.
proof to like Fred and I, where like you don't need distance to win. If you're throwing consistent like the 350 to 4, like you're saying, and then you're like a really high percentage putter in the circle.
Yep.
Yeah.
That one Worlds at Hudson Mills, Rick Vokes made the final 9. He's like 60 years old back then.
Uh-huh.
Made the final pro 9
Yeah.
because he makes all his putts and he just throws straight.
Yeah.
So everyone's trying to bomb all these his holes and
You
kicking
guys are
off.
silly. I'm just going to go
He's
this
just
way.
throwing his mid-range down the middle and then making a putt.
Yep.
He didn't win,
Yeah.
but he beat
Made the final
almost
9.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I talked to Jared after he had been gone and then came back, and I remember like I saw him and we all went up there to play, and I asked him, I was like, well, what are the guys like? What's the difference in the game between like playing here and playing there? And he's like, those guys, like, they can throw farther. He's like, but that's not it. He's like, the thing is like you're gonna hit your exact line and your exact shot and land where you want to like 3 out of 10 times. He's like, those guys are gonna throw
gonna
and land where
miss
they want to
once.
9 out of 10
Yeah,
times.
they're going to miss once.
Yeah, and then he said, and then the putting is like a guarantee. He goes, so
You don't miss putts
Yeah.
on tour. You can't. You
Yeah.
can't get inside the circle and miss putts and be a good golfer.
yeah,
There was one point him and I were talking, and he was like, you know, when it's like they look like they're that good, they are. Like they just are.
You're like,
there's-
"Shit."
I remember
like,
him
it
telling
was-
me stuff like that.
Yeah, and he was like,
Jeff, you
yeah,
don't
like
know. He's
yeah,
like, you
it's
just
like
don't know, Jeff.
yeah, like we got the same shots. Like it's there. But then it's exactly like what you said he was saying is like their percentages vastly higher.
Yeah.
Like it's insane.
Well, see,
Yeah.
that's I did know. Like I knew what he was saying. He's like looking at me like I don't know what he's talking
Yeah.
about. I know.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen it
Yeah.
where it's like you're playing your best game and still not even coming close.
yeah,
You know, and these guys are screwing around beating you.
yeah,
You know, so I do know what it's like to watch these guys.
Is
Don't miss putts ever.
yeah.
And you throw down the fairway. You never, it's fun to watch.
I think Jared's warm up, I figured it out. He knew about Ricky's video that he was going to make in the future of him acing all those holes at the 9-hole course and how sweaty guys like, I'm not doing it right. And he went out and got that sweaty. That's
Yeah.
one of my most favorite videos Ricky's ever done.
The 9, yeah,
The sweaty 9-hole ace everything.
Perfect
Like,
round or whatever.
yeah, like the first couple holes he's good. Third hole, where'd all that sweat come from? This one took you a minute.
I've been at this for a minute. Yeah, that's funny.
So
What's
good.
what's the shortest putt you missed in a tournament?
Oh, easy. That's at the Angry Squirrel.
Okay.
What course is that?
Victory
Victory Park.
Park. Yep.
The one that goes all the way back far west. You shoot over
the
a
par
lake.
5?
Yeah.
Par 5. Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Okay.
with you.
Really?
Yeah, you were on my card.
Really? No
Pretty
shit.
sure.
Oh
yeah,
my god.
'cause- yeah, it was with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I missed like a 2-footer.
Nuh-uh.
Yep.
What'd you do?
Doinked it off the cage because there was a headwind.
And you just
I literally missed like a drop in.
oh my god, I wish I could remember this.
Yeah. So we had a dude hit the basket on that one really tough water hole. You shoot like Anheuser and the basket's right on it's all
Yeah.
a water
Yeah.
carry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude hits the basket.
Okay.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So I took a picture of us
Dang.
right before that.
Okay.
And I got a picture of that, us 4 year on our card. It was that
Wow.
tournament.
I wanna see that
It might
picture.
not have been that round. I think it was
Yeah.
that round though. But yeah, it was super headwind. I just wasn't thinking. I don't know. I just stepped up to it and
Caged it.
Perfect.
Happens. I played my first tournament with a number. I drove out to Victory Park. I was like, I'm going to play a tournament. I got a PDGA number. I'm going to play a tournament. And I was like, where's the tournament? Then there's like Albion. I was like, I'm going. And I remember I called Zach and I was like, have you ever played this course in Albion? And he's like, yeah, it's a really good course. I was like, sweet, I'm going to go. So I drove out there in the morning, signed up, paid, and then like ran around and tried to play like 7 holes. And then we teed off. I played AM1 and I shot 965 rated golf, tied for first, and then just like threw away at the playoff because I just went to get a state's berth. So I was like, it'll be cool. I can play a tournament, get a state's berth, and go. So when we got to the playoff, I had stood around for 45 minutes. I'm tight as shit. The guy I play with laces his driving hole one. I literally just took my disc, threw it to the ground, and I was like, congratulations, buddy, you won. And I was like, I just wanted a state's
can't
berth.
do it. Yeah.
That's it. And then the next
cool.
day was open. So I came home and I was like, hey, do you want to go
Yes.
play a tournament? Not thinking in my head like what it's going to be. And he's like, yeah. I was like, I'll go play open. Like, fuck it. Like, let's go. I shot well yesterday. We'll see how we do it open. It didn't go the same way as the day before. I was sore and tired, and I just played like dog shit. On the one hole, I threw it in the fucking basketball court.
That was amazing.
Remember that?
Hole 17. 18. Sorry, it's hole 18.
Okay.
And the basket's by the road there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so the tee pad's this way, basket's up here. You have a big tree on the left side, and then there's a court that's pretty
Basketball court.
guarded.
Yeah.
It's
very
pretty guarded
guarded.
by that tree. Right into it.
I went to go throw like a flex shot,
Yeah.
and I just like it kind of slipped out of my hand, and I didn't get it coming over, so it kind of like just came out of my hand going that way, and then we were like, oh, I'd already like given up on the round. Like I was like, oh my god, like whatever, and it hit the tree, and I was like, oh, we'll be good, and then you just saw it like fade back behind the fence, and I was like. And you were
Is
like,
it OB?
that's OB. And I was like, there's out of bounds. I was like, I thought they're like, no, the basketball court's out of bounds.
Yeah.
You can't go in there and throw it. And I was like, oh. I remember Mosier won that tournament on the last hole, and we were sitting there, and his caddy ran by like a hype man. Remember that? He was like, oh, my boy did it. Hit the putt.
It sounds
to win.
familiar. It
It
sounds
was
familiar.
crazy.
Probably Tom.
I don't know who it was. And I remember
Tommy, probably.
Yeah,
You're saying?
Tommy,
Yeah. I could see Tommy doing that for
Yeah.
sure.
I remember just being like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
Yeah.
I like,
That's so funny. That was the same year where I did the thing to Scott, right?
yeah, it was the same
Yeah.
tournament.
Okay, yeah. So Scott Slater and I, we met before at Amnats. We got along super great. Like we were at the practice basket. He was out just hanging out, doing stupid putts or whatever. I started talking to him, do the same thing. We hit it off. He disappears for forever. And then we play again. Same thing. And then like what I'm thinking is like he'll appreciate, or if he does appreciate this, which I think he will, if I can pull it off, will be really funny and a good like, hey man, how's it going? There he and then the rest of his card are like tallying it up. Everybody else, like I go to his bag. I take this out of people's bags or whatever. I'm able to get all of his bag out of his bag. And everybody else, I'm like, shh, whatever. And I lay him like a piece of candy. Like
Yeah.
I do this whole
Like Hansel
trail.
and Gretel.
Yeah, all the way down. And then I just turn around. And he's like, wait. Like there's a disc here or whatever. And it goes like, wait, that's mine. Wait, that's my. Dude, that's my whole bag. And just I start laughing
Yeah.
so hard. It was so good. And then, yeah, we've been friends ever
If
since.
you can believe it, I remember him when I was taller than him.
Really?
When was he like 6?
Yes.
Okay.
Like him and Jamie would come to tournaments. They were like little kids,
Yeah.
and then I would tower over both of them.
Yeah.
And then
That's
I remember
hilarious.
seeing him a couple years later. It's like, hey Scott,
Oh, hey. Can you hear me?
you got
Can you hear me?
big.
Hello?
But yeah, those two guys, they've been playing since they were little dudes.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember Scott when he was, like I said, I was taller than he was, so it was a long time ago.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's funny hearing Scott talk about tournaments and when he used to play all the time and all that shit. And he's like, yeah, I used to be able to throw like a 400-foot lefty hyzer.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, good
Those
God.
guys, both him
Yeah.
and Jamie, they grew up doing it. you
Yeah.
know?
I remember watching the video of Mosier throwing.
And then the
And that
people's
dude's like-
reaction.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the greatest.
so
yeah.
good.
Yeah. I saw Jamie at States the first year that I played it in pro, and I was thinking, like, dude, this guy's going to have a hard time getting around here. You know what I mean? Like, just because he's like such a
Oh,
big
man.
dude. And
He
then
can do it.
he's warming
Dude.
up in the field, and I watched him throw this shot, and I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Here's a cool story. So we're at Toboggan. I think it was Amnats, and it's like 100 degrees out that day, and there's some challenge to play hole 1 and 17 as fast as you can.
The speed golf run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who enters it? Nobody. So they're like, we got to get someone to do this. So who does it? Jamie Mosier, who's like 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Like he was big
Yeah.
back then. And then Terry Calhoun, who's already older than fuck.
Right.
Oh my god.
So like one of these motherfuckers dying right,
Right,
here.
right, right.
Right? So we're going to watch these guys. One of these guys is going to die right.
Right.
here. They both made it. But yeah, we were surprised that Jamie pulled that off.
Yeah.
He was a big dude, and I think he won. I think he beat Terry.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But they ran 1 and
Dude.
2 in the heat and finished and did not die.
Oh my
Surprised.
god.
But
That's
Jamie
nasty.
Jamie is an athlete, man.
Yeah, he's a fucking athlete, dude. It's great. I watched him hit this like crazy, like crouch down, one knee down straddle putt at States that year. I think it was like hole 4 or something. The hole you throw out of, I think it's on Goliath. You throw out of that tunnel, and then it's a hyzer shot, and the basket's across the road. There's like a row of trees. You basically throw like a big hyzer, like down the tunnel and then out into the opening and then over the road. The hole right before that, he's there, or maybe it's like the hole that's right by it. There's a basket right, I don't know, whatever. But I remember like watching him, and he was like crouched under this branch, like one knee, like super tight, and it was like outside the circle. So he like throws this putt and then totally just like commits to it, falls forward and like lays out into the like pine cones and pine straw and shit. And I was like, that's awkward. And then it just smashed, and I was like,
That's
holy
awkward.
shit,
Yeah,
dude.
that's awkward.
I was like, dude. It's like, man, this dude's for real. Like, I had no idea.
Yeah, we were a little worried about him for a while because he was getting big, you know.
Yeah.
And he lost a lot of weight in the last few years. So
Yeah.
hopefully he keeps that trend going,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I
Your
think
heart can only beat so hard, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, seriously. I think one of the first times I met him was at Toboggan, and he was on his second round, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, what the shit? And then they, one of the tournaments for MNATs, they were interviewing him, and they were asking, like, how many times have you played this tournament? He's like, dude, I love this place, and I get the chance, like, playing MNATs or whatever, so I play it every year until he, like, turned pro. And then they were like, what's the most you've done in a day? And I think he said 3 rounds.
Yeah.
I was like, I've done 3 rounds, like, probably a dozen times or something at this point, and it's, like, hard, and he's 2 of me
Yeah.
or more or whatever at the time, and it's like, holy like, how?
Yeah.
Like, oh, my God. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's crazy. He's, I don't know, he's a lot of fun to be around, too.
Yeah. He's a fun
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's a little opinionated, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't we
I
all?
like seeing his memes on Facebook from time to time. He's got some great ones.
He's the ultimate internet troll.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
is
Pretty
like,
much.
he is the ultimate troll.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Every time, like, when he
Pinky's
posts,
pretty good too. Pinky's a pretty
Pinky's
good
good.
internet troll.
Is
yeah.
he?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't see his stuff.
he's
pop
not
up
as good
so
as
much.
Jamie, though.
No.
Yeah. And then Wheezy had a ton of, like, gold. Like, just different. They were different styles, different
Yeah.
meme artists,
Yeah.
if you will.
They're different
Yeah.
voices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's funny. That's funny. So, what was I going to ask you? So what are your goals for next year? Like, what do you want to do? So you're going to finish out the season. You're kind of hurt now. Season's
Yeah.
coming to a close.
I think the new goal is to dial down the registration stuff and figure out a tour.
Yeah. Are you going to make a run at being Masters Pro World?
I mean, I
Or
was going
what?
to go to Tennessee this year, but I went and practiced the courses, and that just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I love tough golf like that, but it was, I don't know, just the hills. I wasn't looking forward to it. I wanted to, you know, I want to be able to look forward to it.
Yeah.
And I just kept, the more I thought about it, just they're beautiful course, like Harmon Hills. The main course is just ridiculous. So I'm kind of bummed I didn't go play that one.
Yeah.
But all the other ones are just, I just wasn't feeling it, you know. I think I was ranked like 15th in the field too. So
Yeah.
so I'm looking at, I could either go play that or go to Ledgestone and be ranked number 1
Yeah.
and possibly win $1,000. So I decided to do that, but I got hurt. So I ended up moving up from Pro 50 to Pro 40. So I did kind of, I probably could have played 50 over and won,
Yeah.
but it was either Worlds or Ledgestone. So that was a tough decision for me, big
Yeah.
time.
So do you think
Yeah.
you think you have it in you to win a world?
I think you do.
I think you do.
Yeah.
I think you
appreciate
could
that.
do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
You know, I got to beat Barry Schultz,
Yeah.
Pat
Easy.
Brown.
He's Pat. They're all past
Easy.
their prime, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Barry. He's not even good.
Yeah. He sucks, dude.
Does he even really play anymore?
Yeah. I
played
don't even know
ag-
why the battle rock's such a thing, dude. I don't get it.
I played against him this year in North Carolina, and he's great.
Yeah, he's a fucking champ, dude.
He's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to play like him just to hang with him. I got to play my best
Perfect
game.
golf.
Yeah.
Favorite trait about Barry?
That he listens to Pink Floyd all the time.
And his haircut.
Oh, that haircut's
Oh,
so good.
it's so good. There's some good ones
It's like
back.
it's like a $4 haircut from Bo Ricks. I remember I watched that one tournament, and I think Feldberg had
$7.99, dude.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's-
with
come on.
tip.
He used a
Yeah.
coupon.
Feldberg had just gotten sponsored by Infinite. He had just like left Latitude. He went to Infinite, and I remember like the first tournament I saw, and they had ironed on Infinite onto whatever fucking golf shirt he had, and they didn't get the shirt flat before they put the thing on to
That's
iron
fine.
it.
That's fine.
So it's like kinked up on there, and I think like he had like a spot on the front of his shirt, and I'm like, dude, you're a fucking world champion. Like, can someone get this guy a real shirt? Like, what is going on? He's representing your company.
He got egged by McDonald's on
Like,
the way
like,
over.
did someone iron that patch on in the car on the drive
Fine.
over here?
It's
Like,
fine.
No, he swung by Infinite on the way there. They just chucked it at him.
Yeah.
He caught it.
like good.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you want to iron this patch on? You guys got cheeseburgers here? Yeah, in the back. Okay, just throw this on. We'll be good. Yeah. Yeah, Barry's
Oh my
fucking. So when I watch the old stuff, the putt that translates the most to how people putt now is Barry Schultz. when I watch the old guys and putting, like all the throws and stuff, like we talk about, like throws are getting more and more like kind of wedged down to like this is efficient form. When I started playing, like there was no like accepted form. A lot of people threw with like straight arms, or there was like a lot of different theories on like how this works, and you'd see a lot more
we're starting
variance.
to narrow it down now.
Yeah, now it's like kind of honed in, and you'll still have like throwbacks. Yeah, Eric Oakley or Philo or people that like are Matteo,
Yeah.
even Conrad to a certain degree. Like you have those guys, but as like you get all these like young fucking bombers, Raven and like all those guys, like it's a pretty consistent form.
Yep.
When you look back then, you watch those guys throw, it's a lot of variance. But then when you watch the putting, you're like, none of this held up to the test of time. Like the Ron Russell, like standing this way, throwing back that way, all that shit. But Schultz, watching his old putt, is the closest to like how people putt now.
Yeah.
Like he's...
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue with the scores, though.
Yeah.
I mean, so he was the the straddle putt dude.
Yep.
Right? Though not too many guys putted like that I knew of. I mean,
Yeah.
there wasn't a lot of videos either, but, you know, Ron putted his own way, but Kenny had his own style, and then there wasn't anyone that putted straddle like that.
Yeah.
You know, that was kind of new to me. I never liked that style.
Yeah.
I always felt like I needed more back foot or something.
Yeah, I think the only one from like I guess back in the day, he would be more recent, would be Marcus Karlstrom. Do you know him?
No.
Do you know him, right? Yeah, he was very like. So there was a tournament. I forget which one it was, but it's like you got a guy who looks basically the same, like very white, blonde hair, blue eyes,
He's
whatever.
from Sweden, right?
Yeah, something like that. This guy, I don't know where he's from, but he throws the same. Like he just plants, his whole body stays there and just rips everything around, like how Karlstrom did. Like I don't know. I get weirded out by it. It's like, dude, I feel like eventually that's gonna be some weird back pain. But like Karlstrom could smash a disc, and then he was just like big straddle putter. He was super solid. I don't know if he plays at all anymore.
I think that has a lot to do with like what you're saying. Remember when Tiger Woods came out?
Yeah.
And they're like, he's gonna have back problems.
Yeah.
Just look what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's smashing it, but he's fucked.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they were right.
Yep.
So we're gonna get to a point in our sport where we're gonna be able to recognize that stuff too. Like, yeah, he's throwing 550, but you see how he's dipping right there?
Yeah.
When he's 47, he's done.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He's not gonna be dipping anymore. He's gonna be like,
Well, no, that's what like for me, just being old and crotchety when I'm playing and I'm like just losing to people throwing 500 feet and they're like 21. I'm like, wait till you actually have to get a job. Wait till you have bills. Wait till your body isn't a rubber band anymore. Yeah,
like
they
I
might
said,
not.
they might not have that because
hopefully
I just played
not.
a tournament and didn't play good and got $700.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just wonder on the
So that's
the wear and tear of that though, because so Simon had an elbow issue, and then it'd be interesting to see how that goes because like I don't know, even Barella, Calvin, not necessarily Eagle. Eagle's weird because he just has so much mobility. Like there's a lot of torque, but it's so evenly dispersed.
well, we don't know yet. Yeah, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
We look at Scott Stokely. You know, he's the one you can probably look at.
Yeah.
He never really had. Well, he did have elbow injuries. He did. He had a bad one actually. But
Yeah,
that
the
made
one
him
that he
stop.
talked about,
yeah,
where he's like
where
his
he
elbow
threw it, it
popped.
popped. Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
but you know he's the kind of guy that you probably want to look at and say, well, what hurt you and what's wrong with you?
yeah, and he comes
Because he
out
threw
shooting
harder than
fire
everyone
at 50
else.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, he just quit playing
Mm-hmm.
because I think he had the same deal. It's like he could win money back then, but it was not. If you weren't top 5, you were losing money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, maybe some of the bigger events where he played in, maybe not. You know, but yeah, I remember going to the Michiana Open and you know Ron got second or third and he won $500. And I was talking to him afterward. He's like, "Yeah, this ain't gonna cut it." I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome! You know, $500, that's great." He's like, "This is a fail, dude.
Yeah.
This is a fail.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna cost me $500 to get to the next place." You know, but he slept in his van, so he didn't have to worry about that. But you know, I kind of felt bad for him, you know, because it's like you're on tour. This is what you do. You just and I remember the guy that gave him the check. He's like, "Yeah, nice paycheck, $500 paycheck for the weekend, whatever." I'm thinking, "Yeah, that's great." Talked to him after the round. He's like, "Fail,
Yeah.
Wow.
total fail." Jim.
$500 isn't going to buy $400. I gotta go. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
But now, you know, now it's like
It's-
15 guys are getting $1,000.
Yeah.
Or in that last tournament.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I remember when I played D-Glow a
great.
couple years ago, and I played with Clemens first round, and he was kind of talking about like money to keep playing, money to keep touring, and then actually having it where like because he got like good and then like got kind of like a better sponsorship deal like throughout the year before. It was like I guess like 3 years ago or something, and he was talking about like how much better this year was because like he doesn't have to worry so much about entry fees as much as he used to.
This year's big,
and
I'm,
then he
I'm
could
getting
fly.
paid out too, man.
Yeah,
And that's what we need. We need those big payouts, and that's what we were talking about earlier with the multiple weekends.
yeah.
You know, that makes a lot of sense because you can get big purses and satisfy everybody. You know, the throw it on the mountain, that's a good idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know,
So in terms of playability, we just had this conversation. In terms of playability, if you could switch something up with disc golf to clean it up, or a rule that you don't like the way that it plays out, not in terms of like tournaments and like the actual structure of the event, but the actual like rules of disc golf as you've played. Obviously, they've changed over time. They've gone back on some things. Like if you had something right now in watching, do you watch a lot of disc golf or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So in watching disc golf play and then in playing disc golf, like is there something that you would, if you could change one thing to make it better, what would the thing be? Nothing.
I got nothing.
Nothing.
Right, it's better now than it's ever been.
Yeah.
I mean, we can watch it on TV. It's the rules are there for a reason, and they've evolved. I think they're pretty fair. I never liked the 2 meter rule.
Yeah.
That's gone.
Like that's just done like forever, right?
No,
or is it like
I think the TD
can still do it, but
yeah,
they don't?
They don't.
In California,
yeah.
they do it still.
Okay.
They do.
Yeah,
They do quite a bit of the 2 meter in California.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's exciting to watch what's going on.
It's amazing.
It's great. I
Yeah.
mean, I wouldn't change anything. I mean, I would probably, instead of having everyone playing the same day now, like I'd definitely have pro weekends and amateur weekends. I think
Yeah.
that's where we're gonna have to go. Obviously, unless you want 20-man fields.
Yeah.
So, I think I'm probably gonna do that with Stony Creek Open. Maybe
I'll
not
play
this
it.
year.
I want to experience it. I want to see how
I think it just makes sense.
Yeah.
You play the green course Saturday and the blue course Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That way we're not there all day. That's one thing I didn't like.
Oh.
So there's a couple things I didn't like back in the day. The 10-hour days.
Yeah.
The 10-hour days and the low payouts.
Yep.
That kind of sucked, especially if you got a wife or a girlfriend. She's like,
Yep.
"What? You were gone all day and you made $50."
Or if you have 2 days off for the week, and that's
Yeah.
one of your whole days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We went out and played I played a handful of open tournaments just so I could play with him. So we went out and played a tournament at a course that doesn't exist anymore, and I played open, and it was just a day I shot
You
really
might
well.
have played at the Sandbar, the one that Ben Calhoun put together.
No. I'm talking about the one where he played Rick Hunt. Remember? And Weingard threw it out of bounds.
Their original
original course.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
In Marlette,
Maybe.
the
I
Hunts.
don't know.
What was it called? Whispering Meadows.
Sure.
You threw the one hole into the baseball diamond.
Oh, that's his course that Rick designed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a cool course.
Yeah.
Well, what was it called?
I don't remember.
No
I
idea.
forgot. It starts with an M.
We went out
Okay.
and played that course, and I was like tied for first, like coming into the end with Weingard.
Mhm.
And I remember I ended up losing on like the last hole. Weingard got a birdie, I got a par, whatever. From that, I did not like Nate for a long time, just because of the way the round went, like
Oh,
just how he was. I think he just had an off day. But then
Yeah.
I never played because I never played open. I never played with him again. And then I remember when I went pro and played open, and I played with him like one of the first tournament I ever played. Like actually, like now I'm going to accept cash because that when I finished second, I just took merch because I didn't want to do it. But then when I played with him, like the first time I played with him, I was like, dude, this guy's awesome. I think he must have just had an off day or
Yeah,
whatever
Nate's
it was.
cool.
It was fun. Can we tell the story?
Yeah.
So it
First
like
of all,
the-
he's stoned out of his fucking
No,
mind.
Nate.
Dude.
No way.
No way.
His girlfriend was like sleeping. She was like a lawyer or something. She's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
sleeping in the
Kira?
car.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
hate to get all this out on the internet, but she's like sleeping in the car and then would like come out and talk to me every once in a while and then like go back to the car and he's stoned. He's like not playing the way that he expected. And then he's just bitching like, these holes are too tight. If this course was wide open, I'd be killing everybody because I can throw so far
Yeah.
and all this shit. And Zach at that point could throw like a fucking mile, still can, but like it's like, yeah, I don't know. Like it seems like a pretty fair course. Like Zach's having an off day, but he's still like, nah, I don't know. It's not that.
Yeah, I enjoyed the course. Like it was sweet.
Yeah.
Like there was stuff that needed to be like worked on or whatever. Like you got I always call it just tree pubes. Like there's just shit on the course that doesn't need to be there. If it was gone, it'd just be prettier. And then we get through this stretch of like pinball alley bullshit, whatever. He's going through his thing, and then we get out to the baseball field hole, and he pures the gap, just mashes it. OB long,
Oh,
like,
to the right. It like
Yeah,
never
like-
quite came back.
no,
But he's
like
like,
it was.
if these holes were bigger, I'd run this. So, like I'd be like, killing
He said that
everybody.
probably what 2 holes prior
Yeah.
or something.
And then
yeah.
we got to the open hole, and he's like, "Yeah, here we're gonna see." And then he just
Yeah.
fucking cranked it out, and it turned, and it didn't come back, and just went straight the fuck out of bounds.
Oh, yeah,
And
that
I was
was
like,
great.
"Yeah, dude, you'd be killing us out here." It's like, all right,
I can see.
I could totally see it.
That was good. We love you, Nate. It
Yeah.
was- yeah.
But
that was great.
since then, one of my favorite people in disc golf.
yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
But
That's
that
funny.
tournament, we got done. We walked up. Am was still playing, and he's like, "Well, let's just." It was Mark Stevens. It's the first time I ever met him. And he's like, "Well, I can just pay you guys out, and you guys can go." And like, I'd only played Motor City events really before that, other than like the one that I played at Albion. But all the other tournaments that I played were all like Motor City events. We were there till because they do auctions or the raffles, and they're raising money
It's
for
an
everything.
all day event.
You're there all day, so it was like 3:30. We walk up.
Do you
to
remember the payouts?
Yeah.
It's
Oh no!
I got I got $235, and I remember like it's cash, and I was like, no, I'm gonna like. He looked at me like I was like I had a head injury, and I was like, I'm just gonna take merch, and he was like, what? I was like, well, I don't want to lose my amateur status, because I wanted to play Am Nats and Am World, so I was like, I'll just take merch. So I go up there. I didn't throw any of the discs that they had because I threw a mixed bag of like shit that other people don't throw, whatever. And I walk up and I was like, hey, do you need a stool? And then I was like, I got everybody I know stools, like the 3 like the camp time stools.
You asked me, hey, is there anything that you want?
Yeah. You're
And
like, I
then
could
something
use
about
stool.
a stool, and then I tried to grab some other stuff, and you're like,
What are you
dude, it's
doing?
just like the stool.
Yeah. Because it wasn't like just grab it. And then I grabbed a
Zach's like,
I thought
"Sweet."
I had $230.
and then I grabbed a stack of Buzz GT glow, like limited edition glow
You
Buzz
grabbed like
GTs.
5 of
There
them
you
or
go.
something.
Because I was like, well, these will be worth something later. That was my thing.
Yeah.
Probably.
When I did Albion, I grabbed Nuke OSs had just come out, and like for my payout, I didn't throw any of the shit that they had there, so I just grabbed a stack of Nuke OSs. I was like, these are gonna be worth something. They're not. And I still have.
What about the bangers?
the Buzz GTs?
Yeah, the Buzz
I still
GT.
have them.
Are they worth something?
So then I don't know. So I love them though. That's the thing.
okay.
So I really
Yeah.
like them. I now have like a stack of Buzz GTs. I used them 2 years ago, and
Those
then
are the ones with the
the
with
groove.
The,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a banger, but
It's a
buzz
banger.
instead.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a banger.
But I found a wasp when the MGDO or whatever Glow Z wasps came out. Those are like perfect stable wasp, and then the Buzz GT is too stable to like have it as a partnership with that. So then I moved to like a regular Buzz, and now the Buzz GTs just sit. And I've had many people like, "Hey, you used to throw those. Can I get those off you?" And I'm just like, "No,
Yeah.
I like them too much. Like I'll
It's
eventually."
a weird
collect
thing
them.
you like to collect.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. As you can tell, I don't sell a lot of discs. I don't get rid of them. I just keep them.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll give somebody a stack to sell. I'm like, you sell these, and then we'll split the profit.
Yeah.
you know?
Or it's
or Zach steals them.
yeah,
yeah.
or whatever. Or like, hey, you got any of this? And then I buy a stack. Or Dan's like, got any Firebirds? And you're like,
18.
yes.
I have 18 of them. Do you want some? I had 20. He's like, do you have any Firebirds? I was like, yeah, and I'm not going to throw them. So I took like the 2 that I really liked, and I was like, you can have the rest. I don't know how many are there. And then I put them in a bin, and I was like, oh. And then I kind of was like, well, there's 18 here.
Mhm.
He's like, all right, cool. I was like, yeah. All right, we'll just do that.
I might give me some. I just lost a thrill, and they don't make thrills anymore.
Thrill?
Yeah, I lost my thrill.
What is
The thrill is
The
gone.
thrill is gone.
I know.
I have one
Shit.
backup, and no, they don't make them no more.
What? Who? What? I've never heard
Oh,
of
it's
this
an
disc.
Axiom disc.
Okay.
I have no Firebird in my bag because of this thing.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Interesting.
So I lost it. So I think I'm gonna be putting a Firebird back in my bag.
Yeah.
Really?
Unless I can find an Opto Thrill. Someone want to hook me with an Opto Thrill or two?
Yeah. Hook it up. Be a hero.
Yeah.
Yep.
And any tie-dye CETLs laying around. That you
Yeah,
got that
dude,
you don't
honestly.
want.
Or if you are the person who snatched either one of them or in possession of them, if you want to return them, there's no questions asked.
Yeah.
That's right.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Reach out. I'll have the email in the description. Whatever you got to do. Come on.
Yeah, Mike Walker called them the MX missiles.
MX missiles.
Yeah, I let him throw.
The thrill you're talking
no,
about?
the TL.
The
Oh,
TL.
the TL.
TL.
I remember the one that you told me about, and you're like, yeah, I had Mike Walker throw this back in like the 60s or whatever. And like
Dude, he threw it on 18 at River Bends. It's not 18 anymore. It's
the one up the hill with the
yeah.
gate at the top.
Yeah, he parked it with my TL.
TL.
Okay.
So Mike can throw really far.
Oh, yeah.
So, but
Oh,
the
watching
T-Birds
it-
don't go that far.
Does he
Yeah.
still have like the weird purple Champ Destroyers? Or is he
He
finally
don't play
lost
no
those?
more.
No? When's the last time he
I,
played?
well, hang on. He'd play. He plays the Fox Creek
Okay.
Tuesdays.
League. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, because Mike Walker, if Mike Walker doesn't play, Mike Walker does play.
But he's got a kid now named Mike Walker
Yeah.
who also plays.
Yeah. He
So
just
there's
aced it. He
two
just
of
aced
them.
at Fox Creek, didn't he?
Yeah, roller ace.
Yeah.
Really?
It's
A
nasty.
roller ace.
The one.
McGinnis got a roller ace out
Yeah,
there.
same
yeah.
hole.
Yeah.
So same exact tee pad and everything.
23.
The one that's like through the thorny trees. Yeah.
I
That's
got
nasty.
I got that one last year in the dark.
Did you?
Yeah. So we were
Nice.
playing out there Tuesday night leagues with a wasp. So it's the only glow disc I had. So I was like, I'm gonna throw this. So I threw it, and like the glow like it glows pretty good, but like 10 feet out of my hand, I couldn't see it. And then we're all just sitting there like listening, and it didn't hit any of the trees. So I was like, maybe it got through. And then you started bang, and then Pinky was like, dude, it's in. And I was like, nailed it.
Oh my
I was like, I knew where I was throwing, but you couldn't even see the branches.
That's
the
amazing.
Hawthorne League, with the
Yeah.
$3,700 blah whatever ace
Yeah.
pool.
Is it really that much?
It was.
No, Jay Benende. hit it.
Benende.
Oh,
got
that,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
But
That's right.
the week before, or the 2 weeks before, so every week at the end of the league, he gives everyone an extra shot.
Mhm.
So we have like a 200-foot shot for the money,
Yeah.
and I hit the bat. So it was pitch blackout. So we just had a light on the basket, and I threw I forgot. I threw a glow Thunderbird, but I didn't light it up, so you couldn't see it flying through the air.
Yeah.
And it hit the basket. So when it hit the basket, it knocked the light. So the whole basket looked like it was different.
Yeah.
So we're like, did that go in?
Oh my
I
god.
don't know. It didn't sound like it was. Someone's like, it's hanging in the chains.
Yeah.
As I go running out there, just hit the basket.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
$3,700. Well, it would have been. It would have been over. It'd been almost a $2,000, $3,000 shot.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would have went in.
Oh my god.
I had a
But
real
God dang. So Jay off a tree.
off a tree.
Really?
Off a tree.
Oh my god.
Aced for $3,700 the next week.
That's
Wow.
crazy. I had a sweet run one down 2 years ago at Indy. I played out there with a fucked up knee, so I had a lockout brace, so like my knee couldn't bend at all. I just played in this brace that like locked it out. I'm with Phil Delone. I'm on lead card. I'm with Phil Delone, Nate Weingard, and I think Skylar, and we played like a modified course, but it's still hole 15. At Ponds. The one
Okay.
where you just throw the hyzer into the
Yeah,
tree,
yeah.
and there's that little forehand where you can cut in there.
Mhm.
So I just throw the hyzer like out on the outside, and it goes up, and then it cuts through the tree, and you just hear it slam the chains. So I'm like, holy shit! You can't see the basket because it's like tucked in the tree. So I like hobble my ass all the way down there to like clear it out. I'm like, they're waiting to tee off because it was my tee pad. I get like all the way down there. They're making fun of me, fucking going down there like, come on, old man. And I'm like, I got it. I get all the way down there, and it's like fucking sitting next to the basket on the ground. And I was like, it didn't stick. And Phil instantly goes, don't come back. We'll bring the cart. We don't have that kind of time. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, buddy.
That's
cool."
hilarious.
Yeah. No, it didn't stick. I thought it was in for sure. I was talking shit.
So that's funny. That's another thing that's kind of new with disc golf is the glow golf.
Yeah.
There's a lot of glow golf going
It's so
on.
much fun.
Well, what's that? Fucking Sprouse held a glow league for like fucking WC Glow. They've had that glow league
I've been
forever.
doing one too.
Really?
Many years, yeah.
What?
What glow league do you do?
Stony Creek
Oh.
glow doubles.
Yeah, but when is it?
Friday nights.
After regular leagues?
Yeah. So it's
Really?
going to start up here in a couple of
Ooh.
weeks.
The
Shit.
shit. Okay.
All right.
So Stony doesn't close till 10 o'clock until November,
Okay.
I believe.
Hopefully you know.
It's either November or October.
Yeah.
I think it's November.
Do you want me to film the finals?
In the
Of the
dark.
doubles?
In the dark.
It just crossed my mind. It's like, dude, what if you recorded the whole
You
tournament?
see a
Yeah.
couple of blurs.
Yeah, it's,
Great shot.
Yeah, and then just get someone to commentate and just
that's
have it be a
just-
full production.
that's just a fun league where there's no points or nothing.
Yeah.
I think we just play for $5 on that league. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
nothing
that'd be
there.
sweet.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
So I called Columbus, the new course I'm building.
Yeah.
And they want to get involved with that too. So
Really?
There's no lights out there.
Yeah.
That's out in the freaking
What's the deal
boondocks.
with this new course that you're a part of? What's
It's
the
the
story? on
bomb. Oh my God, you guys! It's like a par 70.
it? Okay.
It's just
And it's where?
it's in Columbus, Michigan. It's basically if you take Gratiot north to like 32 Mile Road ish.
Okay.
There's a street called Bauman Road.
Okay.
It's
It's
on,
fitting.
It's on Bauman Road, about
Yeah.
a mile down the road, and it's just an absolute. It reminds me of River Bends and like Birchfield
Okay.
mixed.
Okay.
So
Sick.
it's a lot like River Bends with the you got the river, and then you got this this field, and then you got a big old cliff, right?
Mhm.
So it's kind of like that. It's gonna be it's awesome. It's beautiful. These guys are spending all this money and all this time. They got a crew out there cutting it all the time. They got the best baskets we could get. You know, they paid me to design the course. They went all out.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yep. So, you know, the only problem is it's like a half an hour away from everything.
Yeah.
It's not that far, really. Half
No.
an hour.
I was gonna say I travel much farther than that for shitty courses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely it's worth to go to the front 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go play the front 9 twice, and it's.
I like visiting friends or family or whatever, and then they're like, "Man, it's a drive, and it's like a 45-minute drive." I'm like,
It's nothing.
"Dude, my cutoff's like a couple hours."
I'm 90 miles. If it's over
Yeah.
90 miles, it's got to be something sweet.
Yeah.
Inside of 90 miles, like it doesn't take much.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I'm probably an hour and a half, hour 45.
Yeah, about
Past
the same.
that is like,
Yeah.
yeah. It's so
I
funny.
still think we can get guys out there. It's not that far. You know, like Donnie's course is right there. Same with Rebecca's course,
Okay.
the Mill Creek and something else creek. I forgot Rebecca's course. I forgot it. But they're both right there, so we could probably get people to come and play the glow doubles.
Yeah.
You
Well, if
know,
it's in the dark, that's even better. 'Cause then
Yes.
you can see it. It's shitty when you have like some light and then you throw and you like lose it into like the light and then you don't know where the fuck it
yeah,
is.
we tried it at Sunnybrook one year. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
We thought it was going to be
Yeah.
great, but
Yeah, too much ambient light.
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this place is a lot like Stony. There's no lights.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of looking forward to that big time. Go play some glow
The first
ball.
time I ever played Glow was at Flip City, I'm pretty sure. But I do remember us teeing off on 17, and it was like me, Bennett, Lori. There was like 8, 9 of us or something. None of us hit a tree.
Really?
No fucking clue. I was like, dude, how this shit? Like, there's no way.
Nailed it.
Yeah, like we had to have like grazed a tree, but like audio, like not one tree hit.
Yeah.
It's
is
I mean, it's
wild.
changed. Like the glow gall, the material's about the same as it ever been, but we just use
The tape.
the tape now,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
can put it on your regular disc. That
Yep.
stuff's great. That,
Yeah.
that changed glow golf for me because you have a whole bag of glow discs to go play,
Yep.
but not anymore.
Yeah, I used to do when we did firefighters leagues, and later in the year it would just get dark so early. I'd just like the last 4 weeks of leagues, I just played with like my glow setup.
Yep.
Which was tricky because like one, it's easy to lose, and two, a lot of those were my favorite discs because that glow plastic for a long time was like, especially Innova. Shout out to something that they did right.
Yes.
That fucking glow plastic back in the day was
Yes.
like by far the best plastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of those is it that run right there,
Yeah.
Firebirds.
the
Yep.
glow Firebirds.
What about that Thunderbird right
Oh,
over
I'm
here?
sorry. No, it wasn't. That's not even it.
No, I have like Archons and shit from that glow. I used to have some other discs, and
That
like
plastic
that
is
plastic is the
great.
best. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. It was like the closest to CE plastic, and it was like everything's a little bit more stable than their regular runs, and it was like fucking money. I have some Gators in that plastic that, are
I
like my
bought
favorite.
so the year after we got that great plastic, they sent me another like that was like real gummy. I sent it back. I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is this shit?
Yeah,
And they're like, yeah, that's our shit now. I'm like, well, that's not what I want. They're like, well, that's our Glow Champ Firebird plastic. So
Yeah.
sorry.
Ugh.
I'm like, really? Like, because it was that other shit was hard. Like,
Yeah.
someone was telling me it wouldn't even. There's like a bend test that it wouldn't pass.
Yeah.
You got to be able to bend at a certain.
for safety.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. But
Yeah.
this new ones, I sent them back. I've
Yeah.
never done that. I've never done that to Innova. But I sent them back. I'm like, you guys got to resend me. So they sent me more, and they're the same thing. I'm like, what is this? Like, well, that's what they are now. Like every year they're different. I'm like,
Yeah,
That's too
I got
bad.
2 Glow Firebirds F2s, like misprints from Innova. They were awesome. And then I
I
bought.
think I own one of them now.
Yeah.
Was it in the bin with?
Yeah,
the
it was in the
stuff?
bin.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have it
they're
now.
awesome. It's like
Yep.
a really nice stability. They're not super stable, and they got like a decent amount of glide to them. And then I was at a tournament, and they had Glow Firebirds in the like payout when I played AM. And I remember I grabbed it, didn't really fuck with it. I was like, sweet, Glow Firebird. I was just trying to get out of there. It's 9:00 at night, Capuchin Fathers, whatever the fuck else we did for 6 hours after the tournament. And I'm like just grabbing shit to get out of there. And I remember I got it, and I was like, oh, this is going to be sweet. And then I got home, and it was like the next day, I'm like, cool, I'm going to throw this shit. And like right when I grabbed it, I was like, oh, like what the fuck is this? And they're the same thing with Metal Flake. I got 2 Metal Flake Firebirds like the same time frame, and I was like, these are going to be stable. They're going to be amazing. And I remember I threw it, and I was just like, this isn't even a Firebird. Like, this is just.
yeah. I'd always do that. I'd never buy just one disc.
I never do. No.
I'd always buy at least 2.
Yeah.
It's better to buy 3 than you got 3 of the exact same thing. But that's how I buy plastic. I never buy just one because of that.
Yeah.
You know?
8's my number. That's what I like. I like to
8
get 8
at a time?
Yeah.
That's kind of a
So
lot.
I used to be really into Pro Discus plastic. I still am. They make fantastic plastic, fantastic discs. So they'd have to ship them from Finland because there's no one here that would sell them. So I actually got to be friends with the guy that owns Pro Discus, and I'd call him and be like, hey, dude, I want to get some discs or whatever. Like, what's it going to be? landed. And he's like, well, if you get 36, like I can get them to you for like $13 or $13.50 each, you know, and then I can just ship them to your house or whatever it is. So then I'd be like, cool, like send me 8 of these and 8 of these and 8, you know what I mean, and whatever it was, and just get like a stack. And then that's sweet, because then when you'd get them, like, I never had an issue with their like production. Every disc was the exact fucking same. Different runs, like the different plastics would fly slightly different, but all of them in the same plastic would fly the same run to run to run to run.
That's rare.
Honestly, as far as like disc manufacturers, I think that they're the best. So like when I would order from them, I never once got something with it. Other than the Ultrium Legendas. So the premium plastic is like stable as fuck. They're like a really stable Boss. And then we got the Ultrium ones. We went to Firefighters. I got this box, and I was like, dude, let's go fuck around with these. And I'm throwing all of them, and I was like, cool. And then I threw an Ultrium Legenda, and it's like a katana. Like I threw it, and it was like, whew. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, that's a difference. And so I like messaged him, and I was like, hey, these Ultrium. And he's like, yeah, the Ultrium ones are like are more understable. And I was like, yeah, at least. And he's like, but they're all like, all the Ultrium ones are like that. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, it's just a different disc. Like the fact they're the same name doesn't make sense. But yeah, I was like, okay.
Yeah, I never understood why they were so, you know, inconsistent. With, you know, I'd get a stack of discs, and probably 2 of them are the same.
Yep.
You know, never got that about discs.
So I got that with Innova. I ordered discs, and they literally sent me these discs. I couldn't believe that they had sent me. I was at Firefighters. I got them in the mail. I threw the envelope in my car. I went to Firefighters. I was going to play anyways. I opened up the envelope. I looked at them, and like the flight plates were so thin and like muffin top bubbled, but they were just, it was like hot trash. So I threw them, and I was like, dude, and I literally like walked over to 18. There were 2 guys. I was like, hey, what do you guys throw? And they were like this, and I was like, here, I just gave them the disc. I was like, dude, you guys can have these, like. And then I was like, I'm going to try like every other manufacturer to try. And then like I found Latitude 64. This was like 2012, 2013 or something. Then I found like Latitude 64. And then I just tried like every company. And I found MVP and Axiom, their like consistency run to run is very consistent.
Yes.
And Prodiscus was
Stokely
like number
was saying
one.
the same thing about that too.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about MVP being the best. I think he said, he's like, this is my... Like, I love this guy. I love this stuff.
Yeah, because I could get like an amp. So I got like 3 amps. Threw them, loved them, whatever. And then like threw a totally different thing. Obviously a totally different run. Got 3 more amps. Same as the other fucking ones. Like a little bit of variance, but not really very much at all. And like I didn't throw Discraft forever. I throw Discraft now because like, dude, I couldn't even take it seriously. Like I'd get 4 of the same disc, and they're like absolutely different discs. And I'm like, how do people do
I don't
this?
understand that. How is that a thing? Like,
I don't know.
I don't get that.
I liked when they were so bad that Fred and I would just like meme with each other just how bad it was. It was so fucking awful.
Yeah, I talk to people now, and they're like, I've always thrown Discraft, and I'm like, how?
It might be the, you know, the arm speeds are going up, right? So we would always use the hyzer flip. So every disc would have some type of hyzer flip to it.
Yeah.
So no matter how inconsistent it is, if let's say you're throwing a Viper, even though that's Innova, but you know, something way overstable. Right, so that's how everything is evolving. We're getting away from that flip and just all
force
hyzer.
over. Yeah.
So the discs that we're talking about, they flipped a little bit, and it was just okay because all discs flipped a little.
I don't know.
We're getting away from that, I think.
I remember when I came back and first tried nukes, and then I got nukes. I was like, all right, I'm going to get used to this because it's weird in my hand and everything. I was like, well, if these are the ones that fly the farthest, I'm going to get nukes. And I remember I got a stack of nukes, and it was like absolute like nonsense. I'd throw one, and it would just like turn the fuck over, and I'd throw another one. I could hardly get it out of my hand, and it was on the ground.
Yep, I had the same problem.
Yeah.
I had the same problem because they throw really far, but I have no idea where it's going.
Yeah, it's like the Canon. When Legacy came out with the Canon, I got a Canon, and I was like, what is it? I got it from Cherzan at Hole One at Firefighter. And he's like, this flies super far, blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
that's
sweet.
like a destroyer kind of.
Yeah. Yep. It's a little bit faster.
Now the Outlaw, I think, is literally their destroyer.
That's it, Outlaw. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, the Canon was their boss, and then they have the Rampage, which was more overstable than the Canon.
Yeah, I threw the Canon, and it would like flip up, and I don't have a lot of arm speed, but it was like a katana or a bolt. It was like what, like it would like
I think it was more bolty.
Come up and then like drift, and like you could get a lot of distance out of it, but it was like you had to get it just right, and in order for it to go 400 feet long, it went like 200 feet side to side. Like it was like up and then over to here and then back to here. And then I got a Rampage, and I threw the Rampage for years because it was like more stable.
They
You
got
could
good,
count
like
on it.
Veggie throws all that stuff really good.
Yeah.
Last time I seen him, he was throwing the Rampage and the Outlaw.
Yeah.
Really good. And then it's funny because Steve Rico called me like that next week for whatever. I was throwing a B tier, and he's like, "Yeah, I want you to buy some of my discs." You know, I'm like, "Is this Steve Rico?"
Yeah.
Like, don't you have people to call for you? He's like, "No, man, it's me." Like, holy shit. Like, that's nice to talk to you. He's like, "Yeah, I'm a salesman. I'm a concrete guy, and I'm trying to be a disc golfer too."
Yeah.
I was surprised that he personally called me. Like,
And he said he wanted you to buy some of his discs?
yeah, because I was throwing a B tier.
Yeah.
He wanted me to sponsor the tournament.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. I thought you meant you were like competing, throwing a B tier. And he's like, you know what's going to
No.
help you this week?
I think
If
he
you
was just
buy a
going-
bag of my discs.
He was just going down the
Yeah.
PDGA site.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Okay.
So then he personally called me. I'm like, wow, dude, you're a hustler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I am.
Yeah. I remember
That's
watching
funny.
Masters Worlds a couple years ago. It was like him, Feldberg. It might have been Barry
He
Schultz.
did not have a good time, did he?
No. And they're all throwing rollers like every fucking shot. The commentary is like, oh, here we go. Oh. And it's
Roller.
another
What do
roller.
you know?
That was when it was here in Michigan, or like somewhere here in Michigan.
I don't think it was in Michigan that
No,
year.
it was.
remember what I'm
You're
talking
talking
about?
It was on the East Coast somewhere.
Yeah.
What you're talking about?
It was like a pretty wooded course. The
It
one
was
round.
Maple Hill.
No.
Yeah.
Was it? It's like,
Really?
oh, and here's another roller. And then they'd all just throw 4 rollers. And they'd come up
Really?
to him. They're like, what are they going to do now? And then the first guy throws a roller like, well, what do you know? It's
Yeah,
another
and then
roller.
eventually, he's like, what do you think they're gonna throw?
Is that a roller putt? Oh, my God. That's crazy.
He's putting.
Oh my god.
That's
That's
crazy.
funny.
All right. Well, Jeff, been fantastic to have you here. Thank you
Thanks-
so
thanks
much
for
for
Yeah,
coming in, man.
absolutely.
Thank you. You're a pillar of the community. We have nothing but tons of respect for you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, big fan.
Thank you
One
for
of,
being-
one of my favorite disc golfers in Michigan.
Yeah. Thank you for being
Yeah.
level-headed.
That's great.
Yeah, that's you're a good voice of reason. I would say like in like when I talk to people and stuff.
What
like,
would Jeff Bauman do?
yeah, like
Seriously,
and then like
yeah.
any time I was trying to like if there's something that's like really frustrating me in the moment, I was trying to take a step back, and I just feel like you have the voice of like one, a lot of experience, two, like you've run stuff, you've put stuff together, you've competed, you've done all that to like have that step back to be like, it's not just you, it's not just your interaction, it's everything else that's going on. It's like, you know,
I
something else to
appreciate
look at.
that. You know, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of thankless,
A lot.
of thankless hours and
Yeah.
efforts that but it's a labor of love. You gotta
Yeah.
love this to do it like that. For this long, and especially when you got a wife.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate Jen a lot. She puts up with a lot of shit for me, and I
Shout out Jen.
shout out to
You're
my
a
wife
god.
Jen. You're
Yeah.
awesome. And my kid too. I stopped playing when I got married for a couple of years, and we got
Yeah.
a house and stuff, and started our family and everything. But back then it wasn't that big of a deal to stop playing. Mike Rayleigh was pissed at me. I remember that a couple times. 'Cause I'd go to the tournaments and be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Sorry, sir." He's like, "You should be playing." I'm like, "I'm sorry, Mike."
This family,
Did
they're
he give you a
counting
whole
on me.
lecture, like a speech and
Oh
everything?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
but he was right. I should have been playing. I was at my prime and I stopped playing.
Yeah.
Basically,
Mhm.
What's the highest rating you ever had?
not very high. It
Yeah.
was like 1030 or 1029 or something like that.
That's pretty fucking high,
It's-
dude.
Like rated
Not-
round
no,
or
no, no,
overall
rating.
rating?
Your rating.
Oh, my
Okay.
rating, 990 something.
990 something.
Michigan rating.
Still
so
Yeah, the
it's
very-
more like
certification.
1020.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah,
I mean, in Michigan, 990, solid.
Yeah.
990 is about the highest I got. I've been like 970, 990, like 985 player
Yeah.
for a while. But if I could have went on tour or whatever, played all the time, I probably could have got up to like 995.
Yeah.
998 maybe.
That's it. We joke around about two things. One is whatever you play in Michigan, if you leave and go on tour, your rating will go up 20 points, even if you don't get any better. And then the other thing is like Climo was like the only guy back in the day that all he did was disc golf. Like you're playing against people with jobs and lives and wives, and Climo's like, played 400 rounds this week. You guys ready to go? And you're
So
like,
I got a Scott Martin.
that's all he did?
He worked.
Yeah. That's what
He
I'm saying.
didn't-
All those
he
guys
didn't
did.
play.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, Scott did
So
not
he
play
was crazy
golf.
good,
Yeah.
and
Scott
he
was
barely
an insurance salesman for companies or something
Yeah.
like that, and he'd only played on weekends against us.
Yeah. There's a lot of those guys. That's
Dude,
like the
how do you get so good, man?
Yeah.
What the hell? And he'd be like, just God-given talent.
good Lord bless me.
Damn you, Scott Martin.
Sell insurance and throw the frisbee.
But yeah, he was an anomaly. It's a guy that can beat us and not ever play leagues or anything.
Yeah.
I think Willie Prince is like that too. I heard stories about him. They don't practice or play leagues or nothing,
Yeah.
and he just goes out there and shreds.
Yeah.
But I don't know
Or
Willie
doesn't
too-
it deglow?
One of my favorite jump putts in the world. He does like a fucking bell kick when he
Willie?
does a jump putt.
Uh-huh.
I love it, dude. I
Yeah.
can't get enough.
It's great. Yeah,
We were on Chase Card at States a couple years ago, whatever, and he was playing, and like he the only way he was staying in it was with jump putts. He just kept smashing all these like jump putts, and I'm just I'm trying to like
Putting. Golf is putting,
yeah,
baby.
Mhm.
I'm trying to learn from his form, and I was like, yeah, dude, that's not something to learn. Like he does this like kind of like bell kick jump putt, and I remember we were playing at whatever that community college is out there, and
oh yeah.
there's 4 holes that they put in the back where they just didn't clear any trees. It's like T-pad, and then over there's a basket, and there's like no line. Not like other courses where like there's not even a line here. There's no fucking line. And I remember he hit like first available, and I think his total travel from the T-pad was like 15 feet.
Oh my god.
And he like really quickly let it out, and then just kind of moved on like, what are you going to do? But in that minute, he's like, there's not even fucking lines back here. Like, this is crazy. And then like just moved on from there, and he's like smoking and like just fucking knocking it out. And yeah, he shot pretty well, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I heard he doesn't practice, or
Could be.
he doesn't play leagues or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, like
I know Scott Martin. I know Scott Martin was like that. He did not play with us ever.
I mean, but it's just God-given talent.
It's just
What
God-given talent.
What are you gonna
That's,
do with
you know,
it, dude?
what are you supposed to
I
do?
don't know.
I remember
Definitely did not want to hear that, Scott.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah,
I
I'm
had,
just better than you.
yeah, God wants me to beat you.
You got to beat you.
I had
Yeah.
heard of Willie Prince, but I'd never seen him. And I remember the first time I saw him was at States like years ago. And I was like, this dude looks like one of the guys when I lived in Kalamazoo that would just like hang out in front of like the gas station all day. Like he just looks like the guy.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just kind of like baggy t-shirt, like longer shorts,
Yeah.
white crew socks like halfway up, and like sitting there like smoking Newports or whatever it is that he smokes. And I
No,
was like,
that's a guy that just shot 13 down.
yeah. I was like, this is Willie Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember being like, this
So
is
good.
Willie Prince. I was
Yeah.
like, holy shit. And he's just like so fucking business out there too. He's like,
Oh yeah.
he's funny and he jokes around, but like,
Yeah.
dude, he's fucking business out
yeah.
there.
He's there to win. I
Yeah.
like
That's
Willie
putting.
a lot.
Yeah.
Putting, man. That's another one. You know, you putting is golf.
Yeah.
Golf is
Mhm.
putting. You know, you want to
Practice.
get good at golf, you get good at putting.
Yep.
You practice. Half of your practice should be putting, if not more.
So do you have, I know we were going to end it, but do you have like over time, are you a disc collector or no? Like, do you just have a pile of shit that you've like amassed
I
over the
have
years?
some good stuff, but not a lot.
That's not
you
your
know?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got some good stuff, but it's maybe 2 boxes full of stuff.
Okay.
It's not a lot.
Yeah.
I get stuff and I sell it, you know, and I don't like selling my stuff
Yeah.
because it's usually to like Ryan or Zach or someone who's going to beat me with it.
Thanks. Thank you.
That's what I do. I like to give Zach the weapons to
Yeah.
emasculate me. I'm like,
But,
what do you need? Do you need this?
My favorite thing with their like, it's funny just playing and then just the interaction of Dan and I will throw like a same shot or something, and then just hearing the group around us, like who gets some sort of congratulation, and then someone else just goes under the rug.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like I won't say who's who, but it's a good time.
Yeah.
That's how I know someone's doing something right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. I don't like losing. I don't
Well,
like
no,
losing.
who does?
No.
Yeah.
Who does,
Yeah.
man?
Yeah, I don't like losing. It's
No.
just God-given talent.
God, I'm just better than you, baby.
I'm just better than you. That's it.
Sorry.
God just wanted me to win.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Cool. Well, we're gonna have a spinning kid come on
Yeah.
the screen in a second, and that's it. We're done.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks so
guys.
much, man. Thank you.